Welcome back to Only Talk Sports. And tonight we have the 2023 Western Conference second round game 5 between the Phoenix Suns and the Denver Nuggets. This game is still 0-0. It's been a minute in. This should be a high-flying game. Very important game as well. Michael Porter, though, he breaks the ice and knocks down a three for the Denver Nuggets. 3-0 Denver at home. That's a big shot there. But Phoenix, they were down 2-0 in this series, but they have tied the series. It is 2-2, and we just saw a big upset earlier in a 2-2 series at home. The Boston Celtics, they went down to the Philadelphia 76ers. Will we see another upset tonight with the Phoenix Suns defeating the Denver Nuggets? Who knows? But Denver, I'm sure, is going to do everything they possibly can to not lose this game, but we'll have to see for sure. But they are up 3-0 to start right now over the Phoenix Suns. 10:51 to go in the first quarter, and we have a 3-0 lead for the Denver Nuggets over the Phoenix Suns. Should be a fantastic game. Really looking forward seeing how this game goes. Been some great NBA playoff action. So many great games. And that is what you want to see for sure, because these games matter. You want to see teams playing hard. The Boston Celtics, they did not have a good game early. They really struggled. The two games they lost already to the Philadelphia 76ers, they actually played fairly well. But unfortunately for them, they did not play very well tonight, and they lost to the Philadelphia 76ers. That is tough right there, but it is what it is. There is nothing you can do about it. You have to play well every single game. And if you don't, then you definitely can go down for sure. But they're looking at the ball going out of bounds. There's still 10:51 to go in the first quarter. It's 3-0 Denver over Phoenix. I think somebody got, unfortunately, hit in the mouth. Hopefully he's okay. I think it might have been with Devin Booker, and you had Caldwell Pope going after the basketball at the same time. And Kentavious Caldwell Pope, he got hit in the head a little bit, but he looks like he will be okay. And Cameron Payne, he's in the starting five now for the Phoenix Suns. That's a big move there. He's been a guy that has done some really solid things for the Phoenix Suns. He's a guy that usually comes off the bench, but he's a big energy guy, and he's hit some big shots for the Phoenix Suns in these past couple of games. That he gets the starting nod there. But Phoenix still down 3-0, and they were trying to inbound the basketball, but they definitely, I think, went over and back with DeAndre Ayton. It was an over and back turnover there. And Jamal Murray, he almost loses the basketball, but he kicks over to Nikola Jokic. And Nikola Jokic had 53 points in their last game, and the Denver Nuggets still lost. But Jokic goes up strong, and he knocks down the mid-range jumper. 5-0, and Jokic is a fantastic player. Still crazy. He did not win MVP, but he has had an MVP-like season. Embiid won it, and he deserves it as well. So many great players in the NBA. Kevin Durant, KD, not able to knock down that three there. Almost a turnover on the other end, but Durant and Jokic get tied up down low. 10:13 to go in the first quarter. 5-0 Denver. But Jokic with a sweet mid-range turnaround jumper over DeAndre Ayton, just backing him down, going up strong, and knocking down that shot. But Phoenix, they look a little sluggish to start this game. It's 5-0 Denver. 10:13 to go in the first quarter. And you're going to have Kevin Durant and Jokic tipping the ball up. Now it's over to Gordon. Gordon driving in the lane with a turnaround jumper, and Gordon knocks down the shot. What a shot there by Gordon. And now it's 7-0 Denver. Aaron Gordon hit a big turnaround jumper. And now, is there a foul on Devin Booker? I'm not 100% sure. It could be a foul on Devin Booker. Maybe an offensive foul, but we'll have to see. 9:59 to go in the first quarter, and it's 7-0 Denver over Phoenix. The Suns are really struggling right now. We'll have to see. I think it was. No, they called it a blocking foul. It looked like a push-off, but they did not give them that offensive foul there. And Kevin Durant, he turns the basketball over. On the other end, Caldwell Pope, he is fouled on the drive. So it's still 7-0 Denver, 9:47 to go in the first quarter. And Caldwell Pope, he will be shooting 2 free throws. So that is not a good sign for Phoenix. They're getting in a little bit of potential foul trouble early with some fouls, and they're turning it over, and they're not hitting their shots. Just not a good look for Phoenix, but it's so early in the game. Still plenty of time. We'll have to see if they can turn it around. But Caldwell Pope, he drains the first free throw. It's 8-0 Denver over Phoenix. 9:47 to go in the first. Denver is at home, so if they can get that home crowd really engaged and fired up early in this one, this will really go a long way in helping Denver win. And they are now up 9-0. over the Phoenix Suns. The Suns have not scored in the first 2.5 minutes of this ball game. You got Cameron Payne over to the Booker. Devin Booker being guarded by Caldwell Pope. Over to Payne. Cameron Payne for three, and he hits the first shot. Probably the most unlikeliest person to do it for Phoenix. But Cameron Payne, he has really been stepping up, and he really seems to want to have Phoenix win. He's playing really hard, and he hits that big shot there. 9-3. Phoenix is finally on the board. Caldwell Pope for three, and his shot, it's an air ball. Terrible shot there. Nothing but air, but it is back to Phoenix. Devin Booker in the lane for a mid-range two, and he knocks down that jumper there. Devin Booker, silky smooth with that mid-range release. 9-5, and Phoenix starting to settle in a little bit with back-to-back jumpers made. 8:50 to go in the first quarter, and is there a timeout? I'm not 100% sure. The refs, they stopped play. I don't know if there was a foul or if something's going on, but they look like they blow the play dead there. But Devin Booker, he is a guy that is really calm, even when they are down big. He's a really good player, a solid player overall. But the ball is inbounds, and Jokic, he lays it in for two. It's 11-5. Denver is up by 6, and that was a fantastic pass to get the ball down low to Jokic. Now you've got Devin Booker into the lane, and Booker with a nice floater there. 11-7. Phoenix is down by 4 again, and Devin Booker now is 4 points. Phoenix is 3 of 6 from the field. Denver is 4 of 6. Gordon into the lane, and he is fouled by KD. Kevin Durant, they get a foul called on him. Definitely a lot more fouls being called right now on Phoenix than Denver. It is at the Denver Nuggets, so sometimes you get some tough breaks. But they're showing Aaron Gordon, 11 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists in Game 4 versus the Suns. He was 4-13 from the field. That was a tough reason why the Denver Nuggets lost. They needed more production out of Gordon, but they did not get it. Before the Phoenix Suns, they're trying to hold on until potentially they can get Chris Paul back. Chris Paul, he's still on the bench with a growing injury, but he could be back for Game 6. We'll have to see. But at least for Phoenix, they've stayed alive long enough in this series that they will get Chris Paul back if he does return in Game 6. But we will have to see. But he's been out for the last 3 games. He's averaging 12 points, 7 assists, and 2 steals in these playoffs so far for Phoenix. A big key to their team because he runs the ship. And Gordon, he splits the free throw. So Denver is up by 5, 12-7. Phoenix is down by 5. 8:20 to go in the first quarter. Now you've got Devin Booker being guarded by Caldwell Pope. Booker to Ayton. Ayton for 2. That's a nice play there. Booker being very unselfish, passing the ball to Ayton. Hopefully I can get Ayton going for the Phoenix Suns. Ayton is a guy that has had some struggles in these playoffs, but he had a really solid Game 4. 12-9. Now you've got Porter down low. Porter's kicking out to Jokic. Over to Jamal Murray for 3, and Murray's 3 is off the mark. Cameron Payne, he has the rebound, bringing it up the floor. He's one of the fastest guys in the NBA. Kevin Durant kicks back to Cameron Payne. Over to Devin Booker. Booker in the corner to Okogie for 3, and Okogie's 3 is off the mark. Jamal Murray with the rebound there. 7:30 to go in the first quarter. Jamal Murray up the floor, being guarded by Okogie. Could have been a push on Jamal Murray. They do not call it. Now over to Porter in the corner, and Porter knocks down the 3. Big shot there, 15-9. Phoenix is back down by 6 again. Cameron Payne with the ball, trying to go up the floor, but Denver recovers really well on defense. Ayton with a mid-range too. He's off the mark. Probably not the shot that you want for Phoenix, even though Ayton can make that shot, but it was so early in the shot clock. It was not a great possession overall. Not a lot of ball movement. Now Jokic on the other end. Down low to Porter for a layup, 17-9, 7:01 to go in the first quarter, and I think Phoenix calls their first timeout. Denver has extended the lead back up to 8. And we have a timeout by the Phoenix Suns. Probably a good timeout by Monty Williams. You do not want to fall behind too much in this game. And the crowd, they're getting really loud. They're getting on their feet in Denver, and that is not the sign you want to see for Phoenix. You want to be able to hang around in this game, keep it close, and maybe try to find a way to steal it at the end late in the game. But that's not a good look overall if you are a Phoenix Suns fan, to see Denver just easily getting buckets. It looks like Phoenix is having to work for it more than Denver, because Denver is getting some really easy buckets. And a lot of that is because you do have Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic is one of those guys that he can just go out there and run the ball, run the floor and control the way that Denver plays, being able to pass it to Porter, to Caldwell Pope, even to Jamal Murray at times. He's able to control the team, and he's able to handle the ball at times like a guard. That's what makes him so dangerous and such a key part to Denver. And that's why when Jamal Murray was out, it was tough because he didn't have his buddy out there on the floor, his counterpart, to be able to pass the ball to and be able to get him easy looks. Now they've got Jamal Murray back. The tag team is back. The tandem is back. And you see that Denver is peaking at the right time. They're a 1 seed for a reason. And really, like the Boston Celtics, you can make an argument they could have been up more on Philadelphia in that series, but they were really struggling all around. And that is why Boston's now down 3-2. But Denver was up 2-0 in the series. And they could be up 3-1 or even already done with the series at 4-0 over Phoenix if they had been able to find a way to slow down Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. But they were not able to do that. Phoenix found a way to win the last 2 games, which is why the series is tied. But Denver, they have a really good team. And that's because of the fact Nikola Jokic does so much on the offensive end. Yes, a lot of people do talk about that. Nikola Jokic might not be one of the best defenders in the NBA. And I think that's true. I don't think he is one of the best defenders in the league, but he's also a guy that does so much in the offensive end. It makes up for that lack of defense at times because he can pass the rebounder. He scores at a high level. And then you got Jamal Murray that's capable of going for 35 or 40. And then you've got other players like Caldwell Pope. Jeff Green is a guy that can come off the bench. Porter. Michael Porter. They've just got a lot of good players. Aaron Gordon. So many solid players around Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic that Denver is a dangerous team. But they just lost the last 2 games against the Phoenix Suns. But if you're Denver, you don't want to go the way of the Boston Celtics. You don't want to suffer their fate and lose this home game here, a game you should win to go up 3-2 in the series. And then you'll have another home game in Game 7 if it goes all the way out there to a Game 7 to be able to win and finish off the series. But it's going to be very interesting for sure. It's 17-9 Denver over Phoenix right now. They're definitely playing some solid basketball. Phoenix, they've had some moments. They've had a couple of possessions where they've been playing really solid basketball, but it hasn't been consistent enough. You just kind of feel like Denver's going out there and they're getting easier buckets. They're having more consistent play, possession by possession. And they're having so many guys going out there and playing at a high level early on in this game. Feels like Phoenix, a little rusty, a little sluggish to start. But we'll have to see. Maybe Phoenix can get it turned around. Again, so early in this game. We got a long way to go. There's still 7:01 to go in the first quarter, and then you're going to have 3 more quarters after this. So much time left for Phoenix. But if you are a Denver Nuggets fan, it is looking pretty solid because you're already up by 8. The crowd is already engaged, and if they can keep up this level of play and be able to extend the lead, maybe get up by 12-15 on Phoenix, then it's going to be really, really hard for the Phoenix Suns to be able to win the game because Denver's going to be ahead by so much. You're going to have the home crowd on their side. It's going to be hard to get it back. You look at Philadelphia, they got ahead on Boston, did not let their crowd affect the game, and that's how they were able to win. 6:50 to go in the first quarter. Kevin Durant driving into the lane with a signature floater, not able to knock down that shot, and Jokic on cue with the board. Over to Aaron Gordon into the lane, and Gordon goes up strong, and he lays it in. 19-9. Jamal Murray fell to the floor hard, but I think he is okay. But Denver's now up by 10. 6:30 to go in the first. KD for 2, and KD draws a foul. Kevin Durant, one of the best players in the NBA at drawing fouls, drawing contact, getting to the line, and more importantly, knocking down those free throws because he is a great three-point shooter for his size. You look at Kevin Durant, 6'9", and he's got the little shimmy at the line. He's able to drain those free throws. A great free throw shooter, and a guy, if you're Denver, you do not want to put at the line. But they did put him at the line, and his first free throw is off the mark. So I'm gushing about how good KD shoots free throws, and he misses the free throw right there. You can't hit them all, but Kevin Durant is a guy that is capable of going 10 for 10 or 12 for 12 at the line. He's a really good free throw shooter, and he has 30 points per game at 9 rebounds in these non-playoff games for Phoenix. He's doing a great job for Phoenix, a big reason why they brought him over, and he's able to hit the second free throw. So 9-point game, 19-10, 6:25 to go in the first quarter. You've got Jamal Murray bringing the ball up the floor. Landry Shamet is guarding, and Landry Shamet is into the game now for the Phoenix Suns. He's a solid bench player overall for the Suns. Porter for 3. His shot is no good and off the mark. DeAndre Ayton, he gets the rebound for the Suns. 6:10 to go in the first quarter. Kevin Durant over to Devin Booker being guarded by Porter. Probably an advantage to Devin Booker with the speed. Booker, shake and bake pass. Porter. Now he tries to go up and under. His shot is off the mark, but they call a foul on Porter Jr. It is so tough to be able to guard a player like Devin Booker when he's going downhill because he can put an array of moves on you and get to the rim, get to the paint. He is a really good player, and he's gotten so much better since his time in college. At Kentucky, he's gotten a lot better since then. He's playing some great basketball. And yes, he came to a team that wasn't that great at first in the Phoenix Suns, but they've gotten better since he's been there. They built a team around him. He's still playing at an all-star level. He's a great player. His first free throw is good. Both Devin Booker and Kevin Durant are great free throw shooters. You do not want to put either at the line because they will make you pay for sure. But now they're down 19-11. Phoenix is down by 8, and Booker makes it 7. So 19-12, 5:58 to go in the first quarter, and you have the Phoenix Suns currently down by 7. So not too bad of a deficit after a sluggish start. Still trying to find their way. 5:45 to go in the first quarter. You've got Jamal Murray swinging it over to Nikola Jokic. He thought about the three. Now he's driving on Ayton into the lane. His shot's off the mark. Jokic gets his own miss. He misses again. Now you got Caldwell Pope missing the tip. And now you've got Jokic missing. And there's finally a foul. What a sequence there. A lot of putbacks, a lot of tapbacks, and a lot of contact. But no shot was made right there. And finally, it looks like Jokic will be going to the foul line. But how many missed shots did it take? Jokic missed the first one, missed the second one. Caldwell Pope missed the third one. Then Jokic misses, but he is fouled. So many attempts. That was a funny sequence right there. But Jokic, his first free throw is up and good. So it's 22-12, 8-point game right there. 5:35 to go in the first quarter. Jokic, he's a pretty solid free throw shooter. He's a guy that he can miss. He's not as good at the line as KD, but he is still a capable free throw shooter. And they're showing he assisted a score on 78 points, most in a playoff game by a center in NBA history. Jokic is such a great player. And his second free throw is off the mark. So he splits the free throws 20-12. Phoenix down by 8. 5:30 to go in the first quarter. Devin Booker bringing the basketball up the floor. Now over to Kevin Durant inside to Ayton. Ayton with the spin move. Ayton with the turnaround, and he knocks it down. That was a really talented play by DeAndre Ayton. 22-14, 5:10 to go in the first quarter. Phoenix hanging in there. You had an early surge by Denver, but Phoenix is definitely hanging in there. Now I've got Jokic on the right block being guarded by DeAndre Ayton. Backing him down. Jokic trying to get some space. He goes left shoulder off the mark, but Caldwell Pope with the rebound. Caldwell Pope misses the shot. Jokic with the rebound. Jokic misses again, and now Devin Booker with the rebound. So many missed shots at the rim for Denver. I could come back to haunt them. And on the other end, Devin Booker for 2, all the way to the rim, unimpeded. And if you do not stop Devin Booker, he will make you pay. He's got 8 quick points in this game. Now on the other end, Gordon over to Porter, and Porter's 3 is good. 23-16. Denver leads by 7, and Mile High City is back on their feet. 4:20 to go in the first quarter. 3 of 6 from 3 for Denver. 1 of 3 from 3 for Phoenix. KD on the other end. He is stripped by Caldwell Pope. Now you got Bruce Brown at the 4-2, Caldwell Pope over to Gordon in the corner for 3, and Gordon's 3 is good. And Denver, just like that, is back up by 10. 2 quick threes in a row after Phoenix cut it to 4. 4 to go in the first quarter, and you've got Devin Booker with a Phoenix Suns team that is back suddenly down by 10 points and in need of a bucket. And Booker kicks in the corner to Landry Shamet. Shamet to Ayton. And Ayton shot front rim 26-18. 3:40 to go in the first quarter. And again, Phoenix finding a way to just hang around. That's definitely what you have to do. 8-point game. 3:30 to go in the first quarter. Jokic, top of the key. Now over to Gordon. Gordon's shot is a bit short, and Devin Booker, he's got the rebound right there going up the floor all the way to the rim. He decides to kick it to Ross in the corner, and Ross's 3 is off the mark. Caldwell Pope, he has the defensive board for Denver. Now Denver up the floor. Brown all the way to the rim. He gets stripped by Landry Shamet. Good defense by Shamet. Now over to Ross. Now to Booker. 3 to go in the first quarter. It's been some high-flying action. Now Kevin Durant being guarded by Caldwell Pope. Over to Landry Shamet. Shamet all the way to the rim, taking contact. What a block by Aaron Gordon. He said, not this time, Landry Shamet. You're getting that out of here. What a play right there. And now Denver for 3. Porter Jr., he's got 14 points. He's 5 of 6 from the field, 4 of 5 from 3, and you have an 11-point lead for the Denver Nuggets over the Phoenix Suns. 2:50 to go in the first quarter, and just like that, every time Phoenix cuts it a little bit, Denver just extends it right back out. What a shot and what a play right there. Jeff says, I'm here and ready to roll for sure. Thank you for being here, Jeff, but we've got a great game. 29-18, Denver over the Phoenix Suns. It's going to be really crazy for sure. Jackson Johnson, thanks for being here, says Denver is doing pretty good thus far. I agree with you, but they were up 2-0, and now the series is 2-2, and you never want to flirt with losing a series. You look at Boston. They probably, you could make an argument, could be up 3-1 or 4-0 and not even had to deal with this Game 5 with Philly. But unfortunately for them, they lost those 2 games. Hard's 45-point game, and then they lost in overtime by 1 in Game 4. Now they had a bad game. They were not very good tonight. Now they're down 3-2 and in desperate need of having to win both of their last 2 games to be able to beat Philly and win that series. Or if not, Philly will be moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals. But looking at Denver, they were up 2-0. Now it is 2-2. They're up by 11 right now, but we'll have to see. Can the Denver Nuggets find a way to win on their own floor? They are playing really solid ball right now, so we will have to see for sure. But Phoenix, they are a team that can get hot in a hurry with their stars and Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, but we will have to see. Jeff says, come on, Suns. I agree. You want to make it a close game that goes down to the wire and see what happens. You want it to be a really close game. There's nothing wrong with a blowout if you like watching one of your teams, like if you're a fan of a team, or if you just love seeing the talent of the one team going out there and playing at an extremely high level. But you just cannot beat a close playoff game going down to the wire and one play at the end, like Draymond Green's turnover and Stephon Curry couldn't keep the ball. And the Warriors-Lakers, that was an incredible finish there. And now the Warriors are down 3-1 against the Lakers. That is crazy. And the Warriors might be done, but we'll have to see if they have anything left in the tank. But if Denver Phoenix, if it goes down to the wire, I'm sure we'll have a classic on our hands, but we will have to see. Sean Williams, thanks for being here. Sean Williams says, I think Denver will take the series. I would have to agree with you. I still feel like the Denver Nuggets are the better team. They have the deeper team. They've got Jeff Green. They've got Michael Porter Jr. They've got Aaron Gordon. They've got all these guys that can score besides Murray and Jokic. You feel like with Phoenix, they're too top-heavy. Chris Paul is not playing right now. Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, they're both stars. They're studs. They're fantastic players. DeAndre Ayton has his moments where he can be a star at times, even though he is a bit inconsistent on that front. But he's still a really good player. But then you look at Cameron Payne, Landry Shamet. They've got some decent players, but they don't have stars, in their role players. They don't have star role players. They've got role players that are role players. They go out there, they can do a little bit, but they don't have guys that can come off the bench and give you 20, 25. Most nights or even on some nights. It's unfortunate for Phoenix, but that's what they had to do to be able to get Kevin Durant. You traded away all those players. Cam Johnson, you traded away some of your better players. Mikal Bridges to get Kevin Durant. It is what it is. You had to do it to get Kevin Durant, and you have to pay the consequences. You don't have a deep bench anymore, but it doesn't mean you can't win this series. It's just going to mean that you're going to have incredible performances by Devin Booker and Kevin Durant to win the series, and we've seen that. They've gone out there and scored 80-plus points in Game 3, and they had similar performances in Game 4, and that's how they were able to win these past 2 games. But if they want to do that tonight, they're going to have an incredible game, but we will have to see. But Michael Porter Jr. only averaging 12 points per game in this series, but he's already got 14, and that's a big reason why Denver's ahead. Several guys that can score points. That is key for a team's success when you have several guys that can score a lot of points. But back to the action. 2:40 to go in the first quarter. Kevin Durant, he almost turns it over. And finally, Devin Booker, he does turn it over. Now Bruce Brown up the floor, all the way to the rack, and he is fouled. And Bruce Brown, he will have a couple of free throws right there. But a lot of contact on that drive. But you can't blame Phoenix. They're trying to find a way to be able to slow down the Denver Nuggets. But unfortunately for the Phoenix Suns, they are turning the basketball over and fouling Denver more than Denver is to Phoenix. So that's not going to be a recipe for success if Phoenix wants to win. They have to find a way to cut back on the turnovers and fouls. And Bruce Brown, he drains the first free throw. So it's 30-18, 2:33 to go in the first quarter. Bruce Brown, his second free throw, it's good as well. And this series against the Suns, he's averaging 9 boards and 2 steals. Bruce Brown, another solid role player for Denver. They've got a plethora of guys that can score points. Jeff Green, he's now into the game as well for the Denver Nuggets. Devin Booker into the lane. Booker goes all the way to the rim and lays it in effortlessly. It looked easy, but it sure wasn't. 31-20, 2:15 to go in the first quarter. And Devin Booker, what a shot there. He's up to 10 points, 4-4 from the field to start this game. 2:10 to go in the first quarter. Jamal Murray being guarded by Landry Shamet. Jamal Murray, he is a guy that is capable going for 30, 35. He had a bad injury a couple years ago, but he is back playing at a high level. Jeff Green in the corner, off Jamal Murray's pass. His shot is off the mark. Now you've got Phoenix going back down the floor. Ross to Kevin Durant. Almost a turnover, but Kevin Durant, he saves from going out of bounds, pulls from three, and his shot is off the mark. 31-20, Phoenix. Down by 11. Make that 13. Bruce Brown all the way to the rim, and he lays it in. 33-20, 1:30 to go in the first quarter. And Phoenix, they are down by 13, and they've given Denver a 13-4 run in the last 3 minutes. Not looking good. Denver fans, they are getting really loud in Mile High Arena, which is not what Phoenix needs or wants. Devin Booker trying to make a move on Jeff Green. Jeff Green, he might be an older player, but he's still playing at a high level. And Landry Shamet to the rim before the buzzer, and he can't get it to drop. And now you've got Denver with the ball again. Jamal Murray down the floor, and he dunks it home. 35-20, 1 to go in the first quarter, and we have a 15-point lead for Denver. It's going from bad to worse for Phoenix. They need points quick. What a play by Jamal Murray, looking like his old self with the explosiveness to the rim. Devin Booker, his shot, he cannot respond on the other end. 45 seconds to go in the first quarter. Denver up by 15, and Jamal Murray, he is slowing it down a bit. He's got Terrence Ross giving him a lot of space because Murray's out by the half-court line. Now Murray with a blow-by to the rim, and what a rejection by Kevin Durant. That was a fantastic block. Now Ross to KD for the mid-range two. That's his signature shot, and Kevin Durant, he gets the shot to fall. What a play there. 35-22, but still a 13-point deficit for the Phoenix Suns. Kevin Durant, that's his first shot to fall. He's got 3 points, a field goal, and a free throw. 20 seconds left in the first quarter, and Jamal Murray, he's at the top of the key, being guarded by Terrence Ross again. But Denver, you can't ask for a much better first quarter than you've had right here. Up by 13 points right now. Jamal Murray off the dribble. And a turnover, tried to go by Jock Landale, but it did not happen. Devin Booker on the other end, and he is fouled by Jeff Green. Probably a good foul by Jeff Green because you don't want Devin Booker to get that easy layup there. You want to make him earn it at the stripe. I totally get it, but definitely a lot of contact there. And Devin Booker, he's hunched over. Hopefully he's okay. He's grabbing his foot. Hopefully he wasn't stepped on there by Jeff Green. Don't know what happened. Maybe he could have twisted his foot, but hopefully Devin Booker will be able to shake it off. 2.4 seconds left in the first quarter, 35-22, and Phoenix is down by 13. And the last thing they need is a banged-up Devin Booker. Booker was driving into the lane. He went up in the air. Maybe he just tweaked his leg. I'm not 100% sure. He could have just tweaked his leg, but it definitely looked like he took some contact from Jeff Green. I mean, it's not a bad foul by Jeff Green. I don't think it was malicious in any way, shape, or form. He was just trying to go out there and defend. You cannot blame him. But Devin Booker, his first free throw is good. So it looks like he might be able to survive this game. Hopefully he'll be able to stay in there. 35-23, but he took some contact by Jeff Green. Good foul there, not giving him the easy layup. But Booker, he's got 11 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. He's 4 or 5 from the field. Nice start to the game for Devin Booker. He's playing at a high level, and his second free throw is good as well. 35-24, 2 seconds to go. Down the floor, Jamal Murray with 1 second left. He tried to chunk it up. He could not. He slips to the floor, and he can't get a shot off, and that is how your first quarter went, with a smiling Jamal Murray going off the floor. 11-point lead for Denver. A really good first quarter for the Denver Nuggets. You cannot beat the first quarter that you had because you're on your own floor and you're playing at a high level. You're getting that crowd engaged, and you're looking at Phoenix. The Phoenix Suns were really slow. They had their moments. There were some moments where they were playing at a fairly high level, but they just could not get it all together for consistent stretches of that first quarter. And that is not going to be good for the Phoenix Suns in the rest of this game if they cannot find ways to put possession after possession together, playing really good basketball. It kind of seems to me like Phoenix can get maybe 2 or 3 possessions that are really solid, but Denver is putting together 5 and 6 and 7 possessions at a time that are really solid. So it's going to be very interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens the rest of this game. We've got 3 quarters to go, but thanks for everyone for being here so far. We got a great game. This is Game 5 in the second round in the Western Conference between the Denver Nuggets, who are the 1 seed and deservedly so. They have the best record in the West. They've had a fantastic season. The Phoenix Suns, they were a 4 seed, and they traded for Kevin Durant, but they gave up a lot to get KD. They got a lot, but they gave up a lot to get a lot. So you have to do what you got to do. But if Kevin Durant, if you're going to be able to win with the Phoenix Suns this year, win a title with Kevin Durant, you're going to have to go out there and play great every single game in this series. And they've done that the last 2 games. But can Phoenix steal one here at Denver? Because they're going to have to win a game at Denver if they want to win the series. It's either going to be this game or they're going to have to win game 7. Because if they are not able to win a game at Denver, they will not win the series. So for Phoenix, they've proven they can win at home. They've proven they can have big games on their own floor. But can they win at Denver? I don't know if they've got it in them, but who knows? We will find out in Game 5 at least if the Phoenix Suns can find a way to beat the Denver Nuggets. But it's going to be really interesting to see what happens for sure. But there's still a long way to go. I would not take much stock into the first quarter because it's the first quarter. We've seen so many games, so many teams be down big early in games, and then they just go out there in the second quarter and beyond and play at a high level and win the game. So for Denver, nice start, but it's not how you start. It is how you finish. But you still can't ask for a much better start for the Denver Nuggets because it's going to bode well for the rest of this game and series if you keep playing this well. Because Denver has it in them. Denver has a team, I think, that's capable of winning the whole thing this year. They do. I feel like you look at the Phoenix Suns, the Denver Nuggets, the Philadelphia 76ers, and you even have the Boston Celtics. They can find a way to win that series. Those are the 4 teams that you feel like have the best chance to win the NBA title this year. Not saying that they're the only 4 teams, but you feel like those are the teams with the best chance. Maybe the Lakers. They could be a surprise team if they're able to beat the Warriors. A lot of people are talking about the Lakers. They could have a shot as well. But Phoenix, they have the star power to get it done. They have the star power to win a title, but Denver has the depth. Denver has the talent all around on the roster. Still star talent, and star talent definitely can help you win a title. But in this day and age in the NBA, you have to have a complete team because if you just have star talent, it is very hard to be able to win an NBA title because there are so many teams with so many great players. So it's going to be really interesting for sure. Monty Williams showing that the Suns are 2-2 on the road in this playoff series. They did a better job against the Clippers, be able to win on the road. But the second quarter is about to start right here. It's 35-24. Denver is up by 11, and Denver, they have the basketball. Bruce Brown to Aaron Gordon. 11:45 to go in the second quarter. Aaron Gordon, he's a guy that's been improving throughout the years in the NBA, but he is a guy that still struggles to shoot threes at times, but he is getting better at it. But he misses that mid-range shot, and Jock Landale has been playing some solid minutes off the bench for the Phoenix Suns. He gets the rebound there. Now Kevin Durant being guarded by Christian Braun out of Kansas. Christian Braun is a guy that's had a good rookie year. He played good defense on KD and got the stop right there. Now you've got Denver with the ball again. 11:20 to go in the second quarter. Jamal Murray over to Jeff Green. And Jeff Green, he is fouled by Cameron Payne. Cameron Payne thought that he was clean and that Jeff Green was just losing the ball, but he's not going to get the call that he wants. Jeff Green, I think the refs thought he was held, and they call a foul right there. 11:17 to go in the second quarter. Jokic is on the bench for Denver, and you have Devin Booker on the bench for Phoenix. You've got Aaron Gordon over to Jamal Murray to Jeff Green for 3, and Green's 3 is off the mark, and Jock Landale, he's got the board, swings over to Cameron Payne. Now you've got to Jock Landale at the top of the key, back to Cameron Payne. Payne for 3, his shot's off the mark, and both teams are cold to start this second quarter. The offense has stopped for both teams, and you have to continue to play at a high level on the offensive end, as we know in the NBA today, with how quickly teams can score. So if you're Phoenix, this is a time for you to maybe get back in the game. Jamal Murray, he misses that mid-range shot there. The time is now for Phoenix. They need some buckets, and they need them quickly. And Denver's on a little cold spell. Cameron Payne with the ball to Kevin Durant. With no Devin Booker on the floor, it's just time for KD to hit some shots, and his shot's no good. And Jeff Green rips that board down. Denver up by 11. No points for either team in this second quarter. Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray. What a no-look pass to Christian Braun. Now to the top of the key to Bruce Brown, and he knocks down the 3 for the first points of the second quarter. 38-24, and Denver is up by 14 yet again. And they've hit 6 threes in this game. Phoenix has only hit 1. Big difference. That's a 15-point difference, and Denver has a 14-point lead. You see how important threes are in the NBA today. You got to make your threes. You got to make shots. And KD, he misses the layup attempt right there, but he's fouled on that drive. 9:58 to go in the second quarter. 14-point lead for the Denver Nuggets, but at least for the Phoenix Suns. KD will have a couple of free throws, and he is a good free throw shooter. I said that last time, and he split the free throws, but maybe he'll be able to hit both of them this time. But that's going to be the recipe for success for Phoenix. You're going to have to get to the line a lot in this game to be able to win. You're going to have the refs call fouls on Denver so you can get to the line. And you got two players in Devin Booker and especially Kevin Durant that are really good at drawing contact, really good at drawing fouls, and getting to the foul line. So we'll have to see if Phoenix can continue to employ that strategy and that method in this game. But Kevin Durant, he knocks down both free throws this time. Not a surprise there. 38-26, 12-point lead for Denver. 9:58 to go in the second quarter. Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns going back down on defense, and you've got Denver going up the floor. 7 for 8 at the line for Phoenix, 6 of 8 at the line for Denver. Both teams shooting pretty solid at the line so far. Jamal Murray over to Aaron Gordon to Christian Brown. Back to Gordon. He's at the top of the key where that's not his game. He's more of an inside guy, but he can shoot threes a little bit more than he used to. But Jamal Murray, step back three, off the mark. He had to shoot it for the buzzer, but not a great possession for Denver right there. Everything was kind of too slow to develop, and you want to be able to get more offense out of that quicker than they did. Kevin Durant, his three's off the mark. Both teams are going cold again. Christian Brown at the floor for the Denver Nuggets. 12-point lead for Denver. And now you got Bruce Brown down the floor. He tries to sky. He cannot get the shot to fall, but he does draw a foul, and he'll have some free throws. Clint Moses, thanks for being here. Clint Moses says, OSU, Oregon State, fight, fight, fight. Thanks for being here, Clint Moses. Again, still hoping for you that Oregon State can find a way to get back on track. We'll have to see. But we've got a big game here, Denver and Phoenix. In Denver, they hit the first free throw with Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown, he was a solid player at the Nets. And Bruce Brown, good addition for Denver. He's a guy that, again, can put up points off the bench. He only averages around 10 points per game in these playoffs. But he's a guy that can score more than that. And just another weapon on the offensive and defensive end for Denver. They've got a great team full of a lot of players that are solid that can score buckets. So good for the Denver Nuggets in the fact that they built a team around Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, and the fact that they just didn't allow them to just be there and not have a good team around. They built a team around them. I think that is capable of potentially winning it all this year, but we'll have to see. Phoenix is still in their way. KD for 2, though. What a sweet mid-range jumper for Kevin Durant. That is his signature. 40-28. Still a 12-point lead, though, for Denver. They've got a comfortable lead, and if you're Denver, you probably want to keep it that way. But Jamal Murray and Landry Shamet, they get tangled up on the other end, and I think they call a foul on Landry Shamet. I don't think he likes it, but it does look like he fouled him, so it is what it is. 8:49 to go in the second quarter. Monty Williams trying to draw up some plays to get Phoenix going. 8:49 to go in the second quarter. Denver is up by 12. There's some substitutions being made. Shamet goes out. Devin Booker, he is back in for Phoenix. Probably a smart move right there. You got to find a way to get some offensive production while Jokic is on the bench if you're Phoenix. But see, for Denver, you can leave Jokic on the bench longer because of the fact the rest of your team's playing at a high level. Now you've got Bruce Brown driving. His shot's off the mark. Aaron Gordon, he almost had a couple of tap backs, but he could not get either shot to fall. And the ball is out of bounds, though. Off the Phoenix Suns and Cameron Payne because of the effort by Christian Brown. Going over there to try to get that rebound, but a huge play right there. And you just see Denver is out-hustling Phoenix right now. They are out-hustling Phoenix. And yes, they're on their own floor, but still, you've got to be able to out-hustle even when you're on the road as well. So if you're Phoenix, you're going to have to do a better job of being able to get some rebounds because Denver's doing a great job on the glass. Bruce Brown for 3, his shot's off the mark, and Devin Booker, he's got the rebound, bringing the basketball off the floor for Phoenix. 8:10 to go in the second quarter. Devin Booker into the lane, and Devin Booker draws contact. And again, smart strategy for the Phoenix Suns because Devin Booker and Kevin Durant are two guys that can get to the foul line whenever they want because they can drive the ball and they are good at drawing contact. Christian Brown, he was solid on the defensive end there, but he brought his hands down. If he had kept straight up, it would not have been a foul. With Devin Booker, he knocks down the first free throw. So it's 40-29. If he hits the second free throw, it'll be back down to 10. So again, even though Phoenix has really been struggling, it kind of feels like they're down by a lot more in this game. They're only going to be down by 10 if he hits the second free throw. That's not too bad at all whatsoever. But still, if you're Phoenix, you got to find a way to be able to cut the lead down even further because you just can't hang around the 10 to 12 mark. You got to get it lower than that. 40-30, Denver up by 10, 8-10 to go in the second quarter. And again, you look at Denver, all of their players are out there and contributing at a high level. And Jeff Green and Caldwell Pope, they haven't even done much in this game, but they can get going in a hurry. Jeff Green in the lane, and right on cue, Jeff Green lays it in, 42-30, 7:50 to go in the second quarter. The veteran Jeff Green at the age of 36, he had a highlight reel earlier in this playoff series. He is still a really good player because he had a big dunk earlier in the series. He can do some big special things still. Kevin Durant on the other end with a mid-range shot. It is off the mark. 8 tries to get the rebound. He does. Now Warren in the corner has had some big shots for Phoenix in the last couple games. His shot, he gets it to drop. So 42-32, Phoenix and Denver are trading buckets right here, but that's not going to be enough. They're going to have to find a way to cut the lead before the half, maybe around 5 or 6 to be able to give themselves a better chance to win. Denver with 11 bench points, Phoenix with 2. So on cue, Denver with more bench points. They've got a deeper team, and it's showing out in this game. Christian Brown kicks out to Nikola Jokic. He thought about the 3, trying to fake on 8 and trying to get by, but he cannot. Now Jokic just chunks the ball up from deep for 3, and he could not get the shot to fall, but he almost hit that ridiculous shot. Now Warren on the other end, and Warren for 2, taking contact and no foul. 42-34, and Denver calls timeout. They do not like the fact Phoenix got it under 10. Right on cue, Phoenix gets it under 10. Denver calls a timeout. Probably a smart timeout there. You do not want to give the Phoenix Suns confidence. So it's 42-34. 8-point lead for the Denver Nuggets. 6:56 to go in the second quarter. And Denver calls their first timeout of the game, whereas Phoenix, I think, has used 2 timeouts so far. Clint Moses, Gary Payton II, repping Bees well in the playoffs for sure. Gary Payton II, he is a solid player for the Golden State Warriors. But unfortunately, the Warriors not looking good right now. The Lakers are up 3-1 in that series, but we're going to have to see if the Warriors have anything left in the tank. 3-1, you can come back from 3-1. It's happened before, unlike 3-0. But we will have to see. But definitely Gary Payton doing good for the Beavers. Clint Moses says teams that score 3 30-plus point quarters usually win. For sure, because it's showing you the consistency that you're having. When you're that consistent and you're going out there and you're having all of those quarters in a row where you're playing at a high level, you're probably going to win unless the other team is matching what you're doing. If the other team's matching your success and it's going back and forth, then for sure you could still lose if you have 3 30-plus point quarters. But if you're having 3 30-plus point quarters, it probably means you're playing at a high level and the other team is not. And you look at Denver. Denver's playing at a higher level than Phoenix in this game. They're only up by 8 right now, but they've controlled this game for the majority of it so far. 6 quarters, still tons of time left. But Denver's dominated the game. But just like that, Phoenix has cut it to 8 and Denver calls timeout because that's the way the NBA rolls. You can have a big lead, but then the other team can get going in a hurry. They can start hitting some shots. So no lead's safe. No lead is comfortable whatsoever in the NBA. I think a lot of teams know that now. A lot of coaches know that by now. But still, the fact that you can be up by 15 points in an NBA game, and then the other team just goes on a 10-0 run in like 2 minutes and it's down to 5, that's how quick you can score in the NBA. That's why a lot of people love watching the NBA. It's a lot of fun because you got teams going up and down the floor. Some people lament there's not enough defense, but sometimes I would argue that there is defense. It's just the fact that the offense is so good for both teams that the defense just can't slow the other team down. Sometimes it is lack of defense. There are well-documented a lot of NBA players who don't really play the toughest defense. They are much more interested in the offensive side of the floor. But I still think that defense is there. It's just the fact that both teams usually are great offensive teams, especially now that you're getting to this part of the playoffs. Every team that's still alive is good. Every team's playing at a high level that's still in the playoffs. So the offense is going to be there. You're going to get a lot of 120 to 115 games. Doesn't mean that the defense isn't there. It just means that both teams are such great offensive teams. They have so many players who can score the ball. How can you key in on one? You look at like the 76ers. You key in on Embiid. You've got Maxey and Harden. The Celtics, you key in on Tatum. You've got Brown. You've got all these other teams. So all these other players on these teams. It just makes it so difficult to be able to stop them because so many guys can score. I kind of feel like with Phoenix, that's what makes it hard with them because you do have Devin Booker and Kevin Durant and DeAndre Ayton, but sometimes the rest of their players on their team aren't stepping up. So you can kind of neutralize them a bit. Or sometimes it's just best to shut the others down altogether and make Kevin Durant and Devin Booker beat you altogether. And if you do that, then really you can't have that because Kevin Durant and Devin Booker can't go for 120. They can't do that. So it's interesting. There's so many defensive strategies you can employ, but when you have a team that has so many talented players, you can't key on them all. Eventually, somebody's going to get open. And that's what I feel with Denver. I don't know if Phoenix can stop them. If Denver's playing at a high level, it's going to be hard for them to stop them. If Denver struggles, who knows? But we'll have to see. But Phoenix, they've got it to 8, and they made Denver call a timeout, so they're making it a little bit interesting. But Jokic, he misses that mid-range shot right there, and Phoenix gets the rebound out of the timeout. 6:30 to go in the second quarter, and you've got Cameron Payne with the ball being guarded by Caldwell Pope. Now over to KD on Christian Braun. That's a matchup win for KD because he's got the height advantage, and he knocks down the turnaround shot over Christian Braun. And there it is, 6-point game. Phoenix is right back within striking distance. 6:10 to go in the second quarter. Kevin Durant, he's got 9 points. He's only 3 of 11 for the field, but you don't want him to get going if you're Denver because he can get going in a hurry. Now Caldwell Pope down to Christian Braun. To Jokic. Probably Christian Braun should have went up with that layup. He was down low, but he did not. And now Jokic. Could have been a travel, but it looked like he might have lost the ball before he went down on the floor, so they do not call that travel there. But it's Phoenix ball again, and they're only down 6. They've weathered the storm again. Devin Booker kicks over to Kevin Durant. 5:40 to go in the second quarter. Back to Booker. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Booker in the lane. Booker kicks out to Payne over in the corner to Warren, and Warren's 3 is off the mark. Michael Porter Jr., he has that defensive rebound for the Denver Nuggets. Now Bruce Brown down the floor to Christian Braun. Brown taking contact. Did he step on the line? He might have stepped on the line because they are giving the basketball back to the Phoenix Suns. So the Suns catch another break. They're only down by 6, 5:27 to go in the second quarter. And if you're a Phoenix fan, you're probably breathing a sigh of relief because of the fact you're only down by 6. That is not a bad deficit at all, considering how they have struggled in this game. The fact KD only has 9 points. And if you're Denver, you're probably wishing you're up more, and you probably should be. You were controlling this game. But again, you can let a lead slip really quickly in the NBA with the amount of offense that other teams can have. Cameron Payne with ball, building his keys, heating up. He hits another shot right there. Kevin Durant is on fire again. 42-38, 5 to go in the second quarter. 12-2 run for the Phoenix Suns. And Kevin Durant, when he starts to heat up, that could be an issue for the Denver Nuggets. Now Michael Porter Jr. for 3. His shot's off the mark. And now you've got Phoenix with the rebound. They've cut it to 4, and they're coming for more. 4:40 to go in the second quarter. Devin Booker over to Kevin Durant on the right block, being guarded by Jamal Murray. That's a mismatch for Durant, but he kicks out to Booker, and Booker shots off the mark. Michael Porter with the rebound. 4:30 to go in the second quarter. 4-point lead for Denver. The lead is evaporated for the Nuggets. Phoenix is right back in the game, but they got to take advantage of this cold spell for Denver. Gordon stripped by the Phoenix Suns. Kevin Durant back down the floor, being guarded by Michael Porter. And there, I think, is a foul on Michael Porter. He doesn't like it, but it looked like he maybe got a little bit of the arm of Kevin Durant. And there is a foul. 4:20 to go in the second quarter. Man, Phoenix has come storming back. Phoenix was really struggling. They were down by double digits for the majority of this first half, but they're within 4, and they have the basketball. Denver starting to slip a little bit. We'll see if Phoenix can take advantage of it, maybe come back and take the lead before the half, but we'll have to see. Kevin Durant being guarded by Aaron Gordon. That is a tough matchup. Aaron Gordon's a good defender. KD for 2. Thought he drew a foul. He's not going to get it. And his mid-range shot's off the mark. Now Jamal Murray down the floor to Caldwell Pope in the corner. And Kentavious Caldwell Pope knocks down the corner 3. Nice unselfish pass by Jamal Murray, and it's back up to 7. 45-38. 3:50 to go in the second quarter. Devin Booker, he has the basketball. Driving into the lane. Devin Booker all the way to the rim, and he draws a foul. Again, smart play by Devin Booker. You just had Denver at a big 3. Don't match that 3. Get to the rim. Get fouled. That's a smart play by Devin Booker. He is a good free throw shooter. You feel like he'll be able to knock him down. But I really feel like if Phoenix is going to win this game, they have to have more free throws than Denver. They got to get to the line more, and they got to make their free throws. And so far, they are doing that in this game. That's why they're hanging around. Devin Booker knocks down the first, 45-39, 6-point game. Kevin Durant, he's talking to Chris Paul over there on the sideline, trying to get probably some pointers, maybe a breather, trying to figure out the best strategy to help win this game. Booker hits the second free throw as well, knocks them both down. Cool, calm, and collected, smooth as ever. 45-40. 5-point game again. Phoenix hanging around. What you got to do when you're on the road. 16 points for the book. He's 4 of 6 in the field, 8 of 8 at the line. Aaron Gordon, he almost loses the basketball. Jokic, top of the key. Kicks down low, and there's a turnover. Phoenix back down the floor. Kevin Durant to Warren, 42, and just like that, there's another timeout for the Denver Nuggets. 3-point game. Phoenix, what a response from them. They are storming back. 3:23 to go in the second quarter. And the Phoenix Suns, they could potentially take the lead in this game before the half. They're doing a great job not giving up. Never give up, as John Cena would say. Really smart words in a basketball game, because there are 48 minutes in a basketball game in the NBA. 40 minutes in college basketball. And you have to go out there, even when you're down, even when you're struggling, to be able to say, hey, we're not down by too much. 3 possessions, we just got to win the next 3 possessions. Get some stops, get some scores, and get right back in the game. That's what Phoenix has done. So it's 45-42. 3:23 to go in the second quarter. And the Phoenix Suns only down by 3. That's right where you want to be. Even if they're not up at half, that's okay. I mean, the fact that you have gotten all the way back in this game, the fact that you were only down by 3 right now, even if you're down 5 at the half, that's a win considering where Phoenix was for a time in this game, down by double digits. But for Denver, you kind of do feel like if they can continue to keep the lead, if they do not allow Phoenix to get ahead, if Denver can stay in front, that eventually you feel like Denver's death will be too much for Phoenix and they maybe will pull away late. But Denver's shots have stopped falling. A big key to success in the NBA is you just got to keep making shots. Whether they're 2s or 3s, it doesn't matter. But you just got to outshoot the other team. But when your shots stop falling and you're starting to struggle a little bit, that's when you get a little nervous. That's when you get a little worried because of the fact your shots aren't falling and you're expecting them to because you're a talented player. You got a great team, but you're not making shots. So it's interesting. I think that Phoenix is in a really good space, a really good spot right now, only being down by 3. But I still feel like for Denver, they'll be okay as long as they can stay ahead. And if you can try to build that lead back up and you maybe get around 8 to 10 and just keep it there or try to extend it, that would kind of hurt Phoenix's confidence and be able to make it where Denver, by the end of the game, could potentially have Phoenix run out of gas because the depth is a problem. Phoenix don't have a lot of depth, even though you are having guys like Warren and Payne go out there and actually are stepping up, which is a must-have for Phoenix. And they're getting it done in the fact that they've got some guys that don't normally play a lot that actually are giving them some solid minutes. But if you are the Phoenix Suns, by the end of the game, late in that fourth quarter, you're down by 5, all it takes is the fresh legs of some of the guys that are on Denver's team to go out there at some big shots because Phoenix, their guys are tired. They've got Timer's team. Some of their guys have only played 25, 30 minutes because they have so many guys in the rotation. They could start to get going late in the game and kind of blow it open a bit and be able to win by 12 points. Who knows what's going to happen? I think this game could go either way. Hopefully it goes down to the wire, but it's been a great game so far. You can't ask for much more, especially since Phoenix has come back. It's been some high-flying action, been a great game, but this is a huge game for both teams because we're tied 2-2 in this series, and if somehow Denver is able to win this game, they'll have the inside track to win the series because all they got to do is win the last home game in Game 7 or even win on the road at Phoenix. But if you're Phoenix and you're able to win this game, you can win at home again and you win the series 4-2. So big game for both teams, and both teams still have a lot to play for, and I think both teams can still win this series, especially Phoenix if they can win this game. But we'll have to see. Denver will have a much better chance to win the series if they do win this game, but we've got a long way to go yet. They're showing Russell Wilson. He's at the game. Now the Denver Broncos quarterback. It's kind of cool to see him out there. 3:10 to go in the second quarter. Jamal Murray over to Aaron Gordon. Back to Murray. Murray's being guarded by Landry Shamet, who's been playing some good defense on. Michael Porter with a mid-range 2 over Booker. Probably not a good shot there. It's good defense by Phoenix, and they're only down by 3, and they could tie this up right here if they hit a 3 or at least cut it to 1 with a 2. Denver has gone cold. They're 3 of 17 in the field in this quarter. Phoenix is 6 of 16, and Devin Booker, he knocks down the 3. What a shot by Devin Booker. Tie game 45-45. 2:40 to go. Insane. What a shot. 19 points for Devin Booker, and the game is tied. An improbable comeback for Phoenix. It looked like Denver maybe had the inside track to blow this game open, but we've got a tie game on our hands. Gordon misses the mid-range shot. No good right there. Now Devin Booker down the floor. Phoenix can take the lead. Booker all the way to the rim, and he misses the reverse layup. He thought he got fouled, but they do not call it. Porter over to Gordon, back to Porter Jr. Porter Jr. being guarded by Ross, to Jokic down low, and that's way too much inside position. KD, nothing that he could do. Jokic all the way at the rim, and that was an easy layup right there. 1:50 to go in the second quarter. In Denver, they have retaken the lead by 2, but still Phoenix right back in this game. They could take the lead or tie with a 2. Kevin Durant backing him down. Gordon with the double team. Over to Booker to Shamet. In the corner to Ross for 3, and Ross knocks it down. And Phoenix is in front, 48-47. 22-7 run for Phoenix in the last 7 minutes. Insane. Now you've got Jamal Murray over to Jokic for 3 on the other end, and Jokic responds with a 3, 50-48. 1:20 to go in the second quarter. What a shot. We're going back and forth. Jokic with a big shot after Ross put Phoenix up by 1. Now Devin Booker has the basketball. 1:05 to go in the second quarter. Devin Booker being guarded by Jokic. That is a mismatch. Over to 8, and there's a turnover. What a steal by Michael Porter. Under a minute to go in this second quarter. We are almost at the half in this frenetic first half. Aaron Gordon being guarded by Booker into the lane. He gets fouled. It looked like he was going to lose the basketball out of bounds, but he is fouled right there. 51 seconds left to go in the second quarter. That was a big 3 by Nikola Jokic. When you got a tall guy, 7 foot, 6'11", whatever, being able to shoot a big shot like that, that is huge. But Jamal Murray, he's a little banged up. Hopefully he's okay. It looks like he might have tweaked his knee. Hopefully that is not the knee that he hurt already. That would be a big loss for the Denver Nuggets. Hopefully he's all right. But Devin Booker, he's got 2 fouls now for Phoenix. That's something to monitor as well. Aaron Gordon, his first free throw is up and off the mark. Got to make your free throw. Sometimes the team that misses more free throws loses the game. As we saw with the Raptors and the Bulls. I always like to mention that. But you got to make your free throws. And Aaron Gordon, he's a guy that can knock him down. I mean, he's not the greatest free throw shooter in the world, but he is a capable free throw shooter. You got to be able to at least split this pair. Be able to go up by 3. And Aaron Gordon, his second free throw is up. And his second free throw is off the mark as well. He missed them both. Insane. And Landry Shamet, he falls out of bounds. Was that a foul on the Denver Nuggets? I think it was. I think that was a foul on the Denver Nuggets. Landry shot out of bounds. And at Denver, they thought that he just fell out of bounds. We'll have to see. Gordon missed the free throw. The ball went in and out. And then you had Shamet. I don't know. That's close. It looked like Jokic was trying to go for the ball, but maybe he did get him a little bit on the arm, but they call that foul right there. 48.7 seconds to go in the second quarter. 50-48. Denver is up by 2, and Landry Shamet, he is at the line because I think that Denver is in the bonus. Shamet's first free throw, it's off the mark. So we've seen 3 missed free throws in a row in the NBA. How often do you see that? Unless bigs are shooting free throws and aren't really good at the line, even though more bigs are good at the line than ever before. But incredible. 3 missed free throws. Back over Shamet hit both free throws after Denver missed their pair of free throws. But Shamet, he does make up for it by hitting the second. It's a 1-point game. Still Phoenix, after being down by as much as 12, 13 points like they were earlier in this game, not too bad to only be down by 1 right now. Jamal Murray with the ball to Jokic. 35 seconds left. Down below to Porter Jr. for the slam dunk. 52-49. Big play there by Jokic. Jokic is such a great passer. That is a big reason why Denver has so much success with his facilitating. Kevin Durant down the floor in the mid-range. His shot's off the mark. Jokic with the rebound, boxing out DeAndre Ayton. 20 seconds to go in the second quarter, and it looks like Denver can almost hold for the last shot. There's about 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. 10 seconds left in the second quarter. You've got Jokic to Jamal Murray. Over to Aaron Gordon in the corner. Aaron Gordon in the lane. And like a little bit of a push-off on Booker. It is not called. But Booker with the great defense there and down the floor. Booker shot. It went in, but I don't think it counts. It looked like it was still in his hand. What a shot by Devin Booker at half court, but it's not going to count. That would have tied the game at half, but I think it was still in his hand, but we'll have to see. Let's look at the replay. Down the floor, Devin Booker goes up with it, and it's still in his hand. 0 seconds on that shot clock, and Devin Booker's half-court heave shot that went in does not count. 52-49. Incredible. What a first half. Jeff says Denver will probably win the series, but would like to see Chris Paul get a ring. I mean, that's a good point. I mean, a lot of people want to see Chris Paul to get a ring. Whether you're a fan of Chris Paul or not, it depends, because there's a lot of people that love Chris Paul and a lot of people that don't like Chris Paul, just like with any NBA player. But it would still be really cool to see Chris Paul get a ring because of the fact he is a good player. And the notion that he's not a great player because he didn't get a ring is not true, because of the fact there's a lot of players who get rings that are on the bench and they don't play much. I mean, it's not to say that they didn't deserve the ring, but they're on a team that's really good and they get a ring. But you look at Chris Paul, he is a good player. He's one of the best point guards in the NBA, in NBA history. I mean, he's got to be top 15 in point guards ever. I mean, he's a fantastic player, but he's never won a ring because he's never been on a team that could do it, or he just has not gotten lucky enough to be able to win it. It's tough to win an NBA title. So I don't know. I think Chris Paul is a great player regardless, but it really would be cool to see Chris Paul get a ring, especially if you are a Chris Paul fan. Clint Moses says CP3 missed his chance at a ring when NBA didn't allow a trade to Lakers with Kobe. I mean, that's a good point. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, definitely, for sure, that was back in the past, but you had CP3 with a great chance in 2021, but the Suns couldn't beat the Bucks. They had a great chance. They could have beat the Bucks and won that series, but they did not. They lost in the finals. But to your point, I mean, if he had gone to the Lakers, that would have been a big trade, but it did not happen. So it's very interesting, but it is definitely something to ponder for sure. Jackson says Clint Moses, CP3, and Kobe, that would have been cool. I mean, for sure. I mean, when you've got two guys who like to have the ball in their hands, maybe you saw with CP3, James Harden, don't know if that's why it fell apart down with the Houston Rockets. But you look at CP3 and Kobe. I mean, Kobe Bryant loved to have the ball in his hands. Who knows if that would have worked, but it would have been cool. I agree with you for sure, Jackson. It definitely would have been cool, something that we did not get to see. But to be able to see that, it would have been interesting for sure. Jackson said, Jeff, I agree. I want to see the Suns win a title, not much because of KD, but because of CP3 and the other guys. For sure. I mean, Kevin Durant, he's already got a ring. He's already won it before. But to your point, CP3 and some of the other players like Devin Booker, they have not had that opportunity yet to win the title. Even though, yes, they were in the title game against the Bucks and did not win it. But since they don't have one, a lot of people would like to see him get one. I don't blame you, Jackson. I mean, I think it would be really cool for sure to be able to see the Suns be able to get it done, and some of these players that have not been able to win a title yet get one. I mean, it's always cool, but for sure, sometimes when you look at a team like the Phoenix Suns that has a lot of players who never won it, how many other players never even get a chance to win it because they're on teams that don't win? I mean, so even though CP3, because he's toward the twilight of his career, it'd be really cool to see him win it. I mean, Devin Booker can win a title with CP3, Kevin Durant, and then never win another one. But Devin Booker's still a great player. It's really difficult. I mean, you look at the Celtics. They got a fantastic team. They might lose to Philly. They might have the deepest team in the NBA, and they might lose to Philly because of a couple bad breaks in these playoff series so far for Boston against Philly. And yes, Tatum and Brown are still young, but what if they never win one? I mean, it's crazy just to go through it and think about all these players that have never won one or never got a chance to win one. It's crazy to think about for sure. Jeff says to Jackson, I agree. I mean, definitely. It is crazy, but it would be really cool to see CP3 get it done. Jada says, hi, Jeff. Thanks for being here, Jada. I really appreciate it. Where have you been? I mean, hey, I've, unfortunately, couldn't be able to do some of these games, unfortunately, but I really appreciate you for being here. I definitely wanted to do some of the games that I have not been able to do the past few days, but I really appreciate you for being here tonight. It's been a fantastic game so far. It should be a great second half. But, yeah, it's definitely been a lot of fun for sure in these NBA playoffs, but definitely had, just stuff going on for sure. Josh has checked the blogs out, definitely. Josh has great games all week. I completely agree. I mean, I wanted to do them for sure. I mean, there's been a lot of great games, but unfortunately, sometimes you got other stuff going on, stuff like that. Just can't do much about it. But, I mean, I wanted to do them, some of them. A lot of great games, but I really appreciate you for being here. Josh says, Jeff, take a breath. I'm just trying to get it all out, trying to talk about, all the stuff's going back and forth. It's been a high-octane game. Both teams running the floor, playing at an extremely high level, but I really appreciate you for being here. Sorry about not be able to do all the games, but I still appreciate you being here. Jackson says, here's another duo that fills apart. Carmelo Anthony and Allen Iverson. You can't have two balls in the same team. I agree. I mean, it doesn't work because when you've got two guys that want the ball in their hands, it just doesn't work because you can't make them all happy. I mean, you look at like the Clippers with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. They have to be satisfied in the fact, you have to be satisfied in the fact that both guys are great and they both have to be able to go out there and be able to knock down shots. And one of them has to be okay with the other guy having the ball, and especially when he's having a big night, and let him go to work. But if you have two guys that want the ball in their hands at all times, it just won't work because of the fact the one guy's going to get upset if he don't have the ball in his hands. So it's crazy for sure. I mean, it is what it is, but I do think that in some instances, there's just nothing you can do about it. I just think that sometimes, you look at some players, they're just not meant to be together on the same team, or it just doesn't mesh together. You have to have a cohesive team, and you have to have a team that wants to play together, and every player fills their role. If you're the last guy that comes off the bench and plays the least minute, you have to be satisfied with that role and give it everything you got when you're in. If there's any bit of dissatisfaction with a teammate or anybody on a team, it can bleed through the rest of the team, and it just doesn't work out. You have to be able to suppress that and have everybody happy. And I know that it doesn't always work that way, but it messes up the roster, messes up the locker room if you don't have everybody on the same page and accepting their role. It is what it is. I mean, you want to be able to make everybody happy, but it's just not how it works. So you have to either find a way to get a team together that is happy together, or you have to be able to work with what you got and hope that everyone can make it work. But I think in this day and age in the NBA, it makes it so tough because how many teams are great? I mean, you look at the NBA, teams like the Dallas Mavericks missed the playoffs. Yes, they made the trade for Kyrie Irving, and they traded away a lot of their best players around Doncic, which I think hurt them as well. Just like you can make an argument that it hurt Phoenix getting Kevin Durant because they traded away a lot of their, complimentary players to get him. But I feel like overall, there's so many teams that are great in the NBA now. And I think that it makes it very difficult to be able to win an NBA title when you're competing with 5 or 6 or 7 other elite teams to win the same thing. Whereas maybe back in the past, there might have been 2 or 3 elite teams. Now there's just so many elite teams. How are you going to be able to go out there and win it all? It's just very difficult. It's not impossible. I mean, maybe eventually all of these teams will be able to win one, but it's interesting. If Phoenix doesn't get it done in the next year or two, they probably won't be able to get it done. It's unfortunate, but their window is short, and it just, who knows? Maybe they can do it, but we'll have to see. Josh says, love your college blogs. Really appreciate the compliment, Josh. Thank you so much. He says, good to know on the trades. Awesome trades. I agree with you. I really appreciate you for liking them, but definitely been fun to cover the portal. That's been definitely keeping me busy as well. Been a lot of stuff going on. You got the NBA playoffs. You've got the trade transfer portals and stuff. Basically free agency trades in college basketball, even though it is the transfer portal. So much stuff going on in sports. Definitely been a lot of fun to cover, but I really appreciate you guys for being here tonight, watching the game with me, watching my videos. I really appreciate you guys. Without you guys, it does not make it possible at all. I appreciate you guys so much. Like the stream down below. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. But I really appreciate you guys, more importantly, for being here because you guys make it worth it 100%. But definitely lots of sports news to cover. It's been a lot of fun for sure, keeping up with everything. Definitely lots of sports news going on. Gexter Squid says, Phoenix will put some nuts in the oven the second half. That is funny right there. I mean, I think that if Phoenix can win this game, they can win the series because they'll have, it's like with Philly, they'll have the road game in game 5. And then all you got to do is win your home game in game 6, and you have it. You have the series. So it's going to be interesting. I think that if they can get that done, then they'll be able to win. The Kings had an ultimate chance as well when they were able to win at the Warriors, and then they were not able to win on their own floor. That hurt. You got to be able to win on your own floor. It's key to be able to win on your own floor and then be able to steal one on the road. That's how you win these NBA playoffs, especially when you're the lower seed, because you have to win one on the road. It's imperative. You can't just win all your home games because you only get 3. The higher seed, the lower seed, like the 1 seed, they get 4 home games. The 4 seed, they get 3. So you got to win a road game. So if you're Phoenix, you have to win this game here. You got to win game 7 to be able to win the series. You got to win one at Denver. And the fact they're only down 3 right now, and even though Denver has dominated this first half, they've let Phoenix hang around. And the fact that they've let Phoenix hang around suggests that there's a chance for Phoenix. They've got a chance to win this game. I don't think that it's a surefire gimme that Denver's got this game in hand. Earlier on in the game in the first quarter, maybe it kind of was looking that way, especially the way things were trending and how Denver was playing. They were going out there playing at an extremely high level, but Phoenix, they just kept scratching and clawing and fighting back in the game, and now they're down by 3. They even were up by 1 at one point, but they're only down by 3. So if Phoenix is going to win this series, you just feel like they got to win this game. I mean, you have to win. For Denver, I mean, if you lose this game, I don't think you're done. I don't think you're out of the series, but it's definitely going to hurt you for sure because of the fact this is a game you should have won. Just like with Boston, I feel like Boston still has a chance overall to be able to beat Philly. I think Boston can win the next 2 games, but Boston really dropped the ball tonight. They did not play that well. It was their worst game by far in the series, and it's going to cost them mightily because they're going to have to win the next 2 games to win the series. The way the NBA playoffs are constructed, it's balanced really fairly because of the fact the lower seed gets 3 teams, the higher, the better seed, like the ones, they get 4 home games. The 4 seed, they get 3 home games, and it's really interesting how it's constructed because of the fact you see the Miami Heat, they're up 3-1 on the Knicks. The 8 seed Miami Heat could go all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's how the NBA playoffs are constructed. It means that the team that is the 8 seed, they have a better chance to be able to win and go far than if the playoffs were constructed where all the games were at, the better team, or if it was, constructed in a different way. I like the way the NBA playoffs are set up. It's a really good setup. I mean, you have the 7 games, you've got 3 for one, 4 for the other, and it just gives both teams a great chance. Now, injuries play a role. We've seen a lot of teams like the Clippers bow out because of injuries to Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, but there's nothing you can do about that. That's just sports. But when you have a healthy team, look at Boston. Boston's team's healthy. They've never had a completely healthy team until this year in the playoffs. And the Celtics made it all the way to the finals last year. And this season, they're probably not if they don't win against Philly in the next 2 games. So even though you might be the best team or the perceived best team, it's not a guarantee you're going to go all the way because you got to play all these teams that are just as hungry and want to win as well. So it's a great setup. The NBA playoffs are a lot of fun for sure. Definitely a different feel than March Madness, and that it's single elimination there. And with this, you have 7 games, but still a great setup overall. And I think it makes for a lot of great action. I think that the other thing that makes the NBA playoffs so cool is the fact that you're playing the same team over and over again. It builds that tension because you're having to play the same team and you get frustrated seeing the opposing players. And like you're in game 6, like I've already seen you this many times. We've been playing for over a week and a half. I don't want to see anymore. I want to beat you and get it over. It's a great setup. Definitely the way the NBA playoffs are done. And it makes for a lot of chaos and definitely a lot of fun basketball for sure. But we've got a whole other half to play. This is just the first half. It is 52-49. The Denver Nuggets, they are up by 3 on the Phoenix Suns. And it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in the second half to see if the Phoenix Suns can steal one on the road. If they can do it, they can win the series, and it will be very interesting for sure. Josh says agree. Gangster Leafs are out. It's going to be interesting. I really appreciate you for being here, all you guys, but I definitely agree with Gixxer Squid that the possibility for Phoenix to be able to beat the Nuggets is there. But looking at Denver, you just kind of feel like in the second half, especially as the game goes along, farther and farther in the game, like 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, eventually Denver's depth might be too much. The crowd might be too much. I don't know if that's going to be the case or not. It definitely could be. It might not be. But it's going to be very interesting for sure because overall, looking at Phoenix, they don't have the depth. They've got some players that I will give complete credit to. They are going out there and playing at a higher level last couple games, whether it's Cameron Payne, whether it's, even guys like Landry Shamet, they've had some solid moments. Warren's hit some big shots. Jock Landale, he's had some big rebounds and some putbacks. They're giving effort. But Denver has the depth. They've got Jeff Green. They've got Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. They've got so many guys that can just score the basket. Bruce Brown's been stepping up. Christian Brown can provide solid minutes. Denver has a lot of depth. And they've also got their star players like Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, and even guys like Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. They've got a much deeper team than Phoenix, especially without Chris Paul for Phoenix. That makes it a lot tougher on their depth. So I think that if this is a close game, but Denver's winning late, there's a great chance that Denver could just win the game at the very end because their depth will eventually be too much and their depth will get them across the finish line and they'll be able to win this game on maybe 8 to 12 points. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I feel like Phoenix could win, but Phoenix is going to have to just overcome that depth problem. They're going to have their stars in Kevin Durant and Devin Booker just continue to score and get whatever contributions they can get from DeAndre Ayton and everyone else. And if they can do that, I think they can win because they've proven that they can win in this series. They won the last two. They were both at Phoenix, but they got it done because of fantastic performances by Kevin Durant and also Devin Booker. But now it's at Denver, and they're only down 3 at the half. So a really good sign overall for Phoenix's chances. It's going to be very interesting for sure. But we're going to have to see as the third quarter is about to start in this fantastic Game 5 in the second round in the Western Conference. Winner of this game will go to the Western Conference Finals to face either the Lakers or the Warriors. Could be the Lakers the way the Warriors are down 3-1. It's going to be very interesting for sure. But in the first half, you had the Nuggets 52-49. They shot 37% of the field. Phoenix was 41%. But the difference was Denver was 8 of 18 from 3. Phoenix was 3 of 11. And the free throw line, Phoenix was 12-14. Denver was 8 of 12. So you definitely had some more free throws by Phoenix, which is key there. But you also had some more threes by Denver. If Denver keeps shooting more threes, it might be able to overcome that free throw difference for Phoenix. But start of the third quarter, 11:45 to go. And Jokic, right out of the gate, he knocks down a mid-range jumper, 54-49. 5-point lead for Denver over Phoenix, and that is not what you want to see for Phoenix. Right out of the gate, you've got a big shot by Nikola Jokic in the mid-range. He's having a solid game, double-digit points, and already around 7 rebounds. KD for Phoenix, almost a turnover, but he gets the ball finally to Ayton. Over to Booker in the mid-range. Booker's shot is off the mark. Michael Porter Jr., he gets the rebound. He swings over to Jamal Murray. 11:10 to go in the third quarter. Jamal Murray in the lane being guarded by Landry Shamet. Back out to Nikola Jokic at the three-point line, but he gives it back to his teammate Murray. Murray with Shamet on him. Murray trying to draw contact. He's not going to get it. His shot's off the mark. Not a good possession for Denver there. Now Kevin Durant back down the floor. Over in the corner, Cameron Payne. He fakes the 3. Now to Devin Booker for a mid-range 2, and his shot's off the mark, and that's usually a money shot for Booker, but he couldn't. 45 to go in the third quarter. And Jamal Murray with the basketball for Denver, and he is fouled. So a 5-point lead for Denver, and Denver will be inbounding the ball. 10:42 to go in the third. Phoenix definitely, it felt like they potentially fouled Denver more, but Phoenix shot more free throws. There were more fouls on shots. So smart by Phoenix getting to the line. Jamal Murray to Jokic. Back to Murray in the lane, and Murray with the sweet floater. What a play by Jamal Murray. 56-49 all the way to the rim. Laid it, and that was a beautiful play right there. Cameron Payne almost slips on the other end. And did he travel? He might have, or he could have stepped on that out-of-bounds line. Who knows? But 10:25 to go in the third, and not a great start to the third quarter if you are a Phoenix Suns fan. A little sloppy and not making shots. Denver up by 7. 10:10 to go in the third. Aaron Gordon over to Porter Jr., and there is a foul on Devin Booker. They're going to get him for hooking Porter Jr., and there seems to be a little bit of arguing between the two. They're having to separate, and the referees are having to separate Porter Jr. and Devin Booker. You definitely do not want to see tempers flare, and that can happen in a big game like this. It looked like Booker held him a little bit. Maybe Porter Jr. held him on the backside. I'm not 100% sure, but they did call that foul on Devin Booker. 56-49, 10 to go in the third. Jamal Murray in the lane, and Jamal Murray is fouled and won. 58-49, 10:03 to go in the third. What a play right there. And did they call a technical on Jamal Murray? I'm not 100% sure, but it looked like the referees Might have called something on Jamal Murray after that play, or yeah, they did. It was a technical foul on Jamal Murray. So Jamal Murray scores, gets the and one, and then they call a technical foul on him. You got to do everything you possibly can not to get that done. You do not want to get a technical foul like Jamal Murray did say something to Booker. And KD, though, misses the technical free throw. No, it was actually to Landry Shamet. They called the technical on Jamal Murray for talking to Landry Shamet. I mean, you can't blame him. You don't want tempers to flare. And it seems like both teams might be getting a little frustrated with each other. So probably smart by the referees. You just do not want it to get out of hand. But it is frustrating for sure. But Jamal Murray, he says it was my fault. He knows what he did for sure. Probably won't do it again in this game at least. But Kevin Durant, missing that free throw is tough because if you're Phoenix, you need all the points you can get, especially at the line. Jamal Murray with 6 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. The fact Denver's up by 9, now 10, and Jamal Murray only has 7 points, that's not a good sign for Phoenix. One of Denver's stars not even playing that well particularly, and they're still up by 10. And Denver's on a 12-1 run, carrying over from that first half. Kevin Durant in the lane, and Kevin Durant for 2. That's a really good play by KD. 59-51, 9:40 to go in the third quarter, but will it be enough? KD with 15 points, but he's only 6 of 17 from the field. Jamal Murray to Caldwell Pope, and Caldwell Pope misses the 3 in the corner. Devin Booker down the floor to KD for a big dunk. What a play by Kevin Durant. He's looking for an and one, but that was a very unselfish pass by Devin Booker to get that ball to Kevin Durant. That was a big shot. Aaron Gordon, he's got the ball driving on KD now, trying to go up strong, but he gets stopped. Over to Jokic for 2, and Jokic knocks down the shot and one, and Denver's starting to roll again. 61-53, 9:19 to go in the third, and Jokic will have a free throw. The offenses are coming alive for both teams, but it definitely looks like Denver is doing a little bit better than Phoenix. That was a bad foul by DeAndre Ayton. If you're going to foul him there, you got to make sure he's not going to hit that shot. I mean, he allows Jokic to hit the shot, and he fouled. That was not a good play by Ayton. Jokic's free throw, however, is off the mark. So some missed free throws for the Denver Nuggets. You got to make your free throws. You cannot leave points on the table, but you can't hit them all, but you got to do a better job of making more free throws than that. They've missed more than Phoenix has. Warren for 3. His shot's off the mark. And Caldwell Pope, he's got the rebound, bringing the ball off the floor. Caldwell Pope down low to Jokic, and Jokic lays it in. 10-point game. And Phoenix called to get it done for the Phoenix Suns. They are down by 10 right now. They were only down by 3 at the half, but now that lead has grown to 10 for the Denver Nuggets. Phoenix is falling behind again. And Buckeye Mike, he is here. Thanks for being here. Buckeye Mike says, hey, everyone. How you doing tonight, Mike? And he says Denver will win the series. I mean, it's looking very good for Denver. They're up by 10. I thought maybe the way Phoenix was playing that it would go further, maybe in the fourth quarter where Denver started to pull away. And maybe Phoenix can come back. Phoenix has fallen behind several times in this game, and they have come back. But you just see the depth of Denver. They just keep on coming. And when you start getting Caldwell Pope and Bruce Brown and other guys hitting shots, and then Jokic and Murray are starting to hit shots, they just become a dangerous team because you can't stop all these players. Whereas with Phoenix, they just kind of feel like a two-trick pony at times with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. Both players are having to do so much for Phoenix. And it's not the fact they don't have other guys that can score, but they're not guys that can score consistently, or reliably. They just can't go out there and put up 20 points if you're a Cameron Payne. Cameron Payne can do nice things, but he's not a guy that can give you a lot of points all the time. So I would agree with you, especially if Denver does win this game, Mike, that I think Denver will win the series more than likely. But Phoenix, still can't count them out. Only down by 10. They've come back several times in this game. Maybe they have another big run in them. Still a long way to go in this game, but it will be interesting. Mike says, my coworker said he will destroy his own house if Denver loses tonight. He is a Denver/Colorado everything Cowboys and NFL fan. I don't know. Maybe that's a little extreme, but it's his property. Who knows what he's going to do? But I mean, hey, I get it. You love your team, but you definitely got to hold, your anger back if Denver loses. I don't know. I don't think Denver's in bad shape right now. You feel like Denver is in pretty solid shape, but that would be insane. I definitely don't want to go overboard for sure. Maybe just a little bit of bluffing. You would hope so. But if Denver wins, I would definitely make your coworker happy for sure. But still, Denver up 10 right now, and Denver has the depth. Denver has the experience overall with a lot of the roster, like Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic having been in NBA playoffs before, and Jeff Green, who's an older guy, a veteran, who's had a lot of NBA playoff experience. Yes, Phoenix, you got Kevin Durant and you've got Chris Paul, but Chris Paul's not out there. So Kevin Durant, he's carrying the heavy burden of being that experienced guy. Yes, Devin Booker, he's been in the NBA playoffs before, but he's still a younger guy. It's really interesting. It's really interesting for sure. But I will say that this was not a good start for Phoenix in this third quarter. If you're Phoenix and you want to win this game, you needed to start out the third quarter in a better way, either by finding a way to take the lead to put a lot of pressure on Denver to potentially have them fall behind, get their crowd out of the game, and then maybe have Phoenix be able to have enough of a cushion to be able to win the game at the end of it. But still, I mean, it's really early in the third quarter, and Denver just went on a small run. That's why Phoenix called timeout. But this run for Denver is the last thing Phoenix needed, because Phoenix got all the way back in the game, but now they're starting to fall behind again, and that is not what you want to see if you're a Phoenix fan. They're down by 10 right now, and it could get a whole lot worse because Denver, Mile High Arena, it is loud right now, and it could get a lot worse in a hurry if Denver gets us up to 15. So a big possession here for Phoenix. 8:50 to go in the third quarter. Devin Booker bringing the ball up the floor, being guarded by Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. 8:50 to go in the third. Devin Booker, he gets a small foul on Caldwell-Pope. Caldwell-Pope's a bit upset. That's one of those fouls that wasn't too much for sure, but they did call that foul because, he got him a little bit with the body as he was driving and impeding his path. It is technically a foul. Not too much there, so you can understand his frustration, but a little bit of a foul. 8:46 to go in the third quarter. Is there another foul? I think they called a foul this time on Phoenix for an illegal screen. It might have been on KD. I'm not 100% sure who it was on, but I think it might have been on Kevin Durant. 8:40 to go in the third quarter, 10-point lead. And, man, Jamal Murray could have got a push-off there on Landry Shamet. But they didn't call that, I don't think. But it looked like he had a little bit of a push-off there. But 8:40 to go in the third quarter. And now the referees are talking about something. I don't know what happened. I don't know if there was a potential offensive foul that they're going to call on Jamal Murray, but I don't think they would call that after they didn't call it the first time. But that's very interesting right there. They just stopped play. 8:40 to go in the third quarter, and you do have the referees trying to review. So maybe there's a wet spot on the floor. That might be the problem as well. Who knows? Mike says, what do you think about the transfer from Ole Miss? And we got Hughes Piga, O-line, and Dulper also play baseball. Definitely, I mean, it's big. I mean, being able to land guys like that from the SEC is huge. I think that it definitely will help out Ohio State. I mean, you definitely cannot beat any transfer portal player. Even in basketball, getting a guy like Evan Mahavy from Penn State, I mean, it's a big addition because of the fact that it's intra-conference, which is always tough for the other team to lose a guy like that. There's been a lot of intra-conference transfers this year, tons of them. It's tough for teams. Definitely tough. But, yeah, I would say it's a big addition. I mean, it's definitely you're being able to get a guy that you're taking him away from another program where he had success and you're bringing him to your team. So it's big. A lot of SEC experience there. 8:40 to go in the third quarter. I think there was definitely some slippage on the floor. Probably a lot of sweat. Definitely. You love to see the fact that the players are laying it all on the line. But definitely can call some slippage on the floor. 8:30 to go in the third. Jamal Murray kicks it to Jokic for three, and Jokic knocks it down. And now it's a 13-point lead for Denver. And, again, this is getting scary for Phoenix. You're getting in the danger zone. You cannot fall behind by too much more. A 19-5 run for Denver in the last 5 minutes. The time is now for Phoenix. Devin Booker with the ball being guarded by Aaron Gordon in the lane. Booker almost loses the ball. Kicks to Shamet. Shamet's three's off the mark. And Michael Porter Jr., he has the rebound. This thing can get out of hand in a hurry if Phoenix isn't careful. Jokic down low. Trying to make a move, can't do anything with it. Kicks back out to Jamal Murray. Ball screen from Jokic. Murray in the corner to Porter Jr. for three, and he knocks it down. 69-53, and it's a 16-point lead. What happened to that 3 6-point halftime deficit for the Phoenix Suns. It's ballooned to 16. Now Kevin Durant with the basketball. Shake and bake down low to DeAndre Ayton, and Ayton goes up strong and knocks it down. Now it's down to 14. But this might be the run that could put Phoenix away if Denver keeps having their foot on the gas. They're up by 14. Ayton has 8 points and 7 rebounds. He's 4 of 7 from the field. But what a performance from Denver to start this third quarter. You can't ask for a much better start to a quarter than this. Jamal Murray trying to make a move. And is there a foul on Shamet? I think there might be a foul on Landry Shamet for fouling Nikola Jokic. Shamet does not like it. But let's see. You had Jamal Murray driving in. Oh, they're showing the play to Jokic for 3. I don't know. They didn't show the replay. Who knows? But it definitely looks like potentially that there might have been a foul on Shamet. Maybe he grabbed Jokic. I'm not 100% sure. But it is really hard to foul Jokic because of the fact, to be able to get the refs to call a foul when you do foul Jokic, because he's such a big player, it's hard to move him. But Jokic, he hits the first, so it's 70-55. Jokic has missed 2 free throws already in this game, which might be due to fatigue. He also is a center, so he's not as good of a free throw shooter as some other guys, but he is capable of knocking them down. But he hits both of these. Both are big free throws there to put the Denver Nuggets back up by 16, 71-55. 7 to go in the third, and Phoenix is completely collapsed to start this third quarter. A disastrous start to the second half for the Phoenix Suns. They're going to have to find a way to turn the ship around if they want to have a chance to win this game and salvage the series. And Devin Booker, though, that's not going to get it done. He was blocked by Gordon on the other end. And now Jamal Murray on the other end of the floor. He goes up strong, takes a lot of contact, and he is fouled. Looks like he might have hurt his hand a little bit. He's in a little bit of pain. Hopefully he will be okay. But unfortunately, that is the issue when you take flight. Look at Ja Morant. When you take flight in the air and then a good sign to see. But Jamal Murray, his shooting hand, he is banged up, but it looks like he is going to stay in the game. What a warrior right there. That was a great block by Aaron Gordon on Devin Booker. He had the height advantage, and he saw Devin Booker going up for that shot, and he blocked it right out of there, got it right out of Devin Booker's sight. That was a fantastic block, and you can tell Denver's intensity is ratcheting up in the second half. Yeah, it looked like Jamal Murray just did not get to land properly, like his hand had just hit the floor wrong. It's always one of those tough plays, but unfortunately he went airborne, and Durant got him with a hard foul. And Durant now has 4 personal fouls. That's not ideal for Phoenix either. And Durant's going to the sideline. And Murray, he hits both free throws, even with his sore hand. 73-55, and the lead is now up to 18 points. What a turnaround by Denver after Phoenix was making the game really interesting. Devin Booker down low to Ayton. It was almost a turnover, but Ayton picks the ball up, and he scores. 73-57. 6:30 to go in the third quarter. But, man, Phoenix, I mean, they were up by 1 at one point after they were down big early in the game, and then they were only down 3 at half, but now they're down by 16 points. This is incredible. Cameron Payne, he fell to the floor looking for a foul, not going to get it, but now they call an offensive foul on Jokic on an illegal screen. When you're a big and you're setting screens, you always get called for illegal screens very often. That's what happened to Nikola Jokic right there. I'm not sure. Maybe he moved his leg. He might have moved his leg out just a little bit, which is why he got that foul. But it definitely was not the worst illegal screen in the world. Now Phoenix, though, with the ball, and they need points. DeAndre Ayton. Josh Okogie's into the game now for Phoenix as well, along with Cameron Payne, DeAndre Ayton, and Warren. Warren driving in over to Okogie. Okogie kicks over to DeAndre Ayton. This is a very interesting line with no KD. Warren for 2. His shot will not drop. That was really close, but he could not get it to fall, and Jamal Murray saves it from going out of bounds. 5:40 to go in the third quarter. Jokic at the top of the key kicks to Porter Jr., and his 3 was in and out. He had that shot, but it did not drop. Porter Jr., a really good look and attempt from 3, but couldn't get it to fall. And Booker's 3 on the other end. It's just a bad shot all around. Not a good shot by Devin Booker. I know you're down big and you want to be able to find a way to hit a big shot to maybe get the momentum back on your side, but I still think if you're Phoenix, you need to be able to employ getting to the rim, getting to the line. That should be Phoenix's strategy, in my opinion, is to be able to get to the line and hit more free throws than Denver, because Phoenix, you've got Devin Booker, and you've got Kevin Durant, two guys that are really good at the free throw line and be able to get to the line, I think that would be huge. 5:35 to go in the third quarter, 73-57, and we have a timeout. But see, the issue for Phoenix is they don't have the depth. They don't have the depth Denver has. Denver's now up, which is the one thing you can't have when you're on the road, is now the crowd's engaged because Denver's up by 16 points. The crowd's on their feet. Denver, the juices are flowing. They're feeling really good about themselves. They've got a lot of guys scoring the basketball. And when you're up big, it's a lot easier for your role players to score as well because they're more confident. And now since Phoenix is down, instead of driving into the lane, getting fouled, stopping the clock, trying to build your confidence up by hitting free throws, now Phoenix is trying to start to chunk up threes. That's not going to get it done because if Phoenix keeps chunking up threes and they're missing their threes, all you're going to have is Denver now just continue to pound it inside, and then they're going to have open shots off the inside game. And then if they keep knocking down shots, this league could balloon to 2025, and then the game's over. And then Phoenix won't have a shot. So to me, if Phoenix wants to win at all, if they want to have any chance to win, then they're going to have to find a way to reverse course on what's going on right now. Slow the game down. Try to just get to the line. Make Denver uncomfortable again. But Denver's on a roll. I mean, credit to Denver because even though they have the depth, not a lot of people believe in Denver. I remember before the playoffs started, a lot of people thought Denver would lose early and that Denver had no chance to go all the way to the Western Conference Finals because, Denver's been a team that arguably, as a lot of people said, they've lost early in the NBA playoffs past few seasons, even though they've had great teams. But Denver might be breaking the mold this time. This might be the year that Denver has a good enough team all around. Jamal Murray is healthy. He's playing really good again. Jokic is still fantastic. And they've got a lot of great pieces on their team that can score buckets. This could be Denver's year. Who knows? Still a lot of time to go, even in this game. Maybe Phoenix can make a run. But it's not looking good, especially the fact that Kevin Durant now has 4 fouls. So you've got arguably the guy that's playing potentially the best basketball on your team. Maybe Booker, arguably, just either way you go. Neither are really, lighten it up or anything like that. I wouldn't say that Devin Booker or Kevin Durant are having a fantastic game. Nowhere near the way they were playing in Game 3 or even Game 4, but still has to be expected. Maybe they're out of gas. I mean, that's an issue when both guys are having to go out there in Game 3 and score over 80 points combined, and then in Game 4, they're both scoring a lot of points. It eventually comes to a head where you're not going to play as well. You're tired. You're worn out. It just seems like Phoenix is starting to get worn out as a team, especially Booker and Kevin Durant. And then you just look at DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton getting, a couple of cheap fouls, not being able to guard Jokic. I know Jokic is a great offensive player. There's not much you can do. But if you're DeAndre Ayton, he's fouled him several times on and ones. And that's just not going to get it done because you have to be able to find a way to not allow Jokic to get those easy, and ones. I'm not saying the and ones have been easy, but you got to prevent Jokic from getting that and one. You've got to have it where Jokic is getting fouled and make him earn the free throws. Ayton's gotten several and ones on him, and it is what it is. I mean, Ayton is a good player, but Jokic is a fantastic offensive player, and there's not a lot of guys that can guard him. So it's going to be really interesting. It's been a great game. It's been a fantastic game. But the last few minutes has definitely gone Denver's way, and the lead is starting to balloon. The crowd's getting on their feet, and it is definitely danger time for Phoenix. They're down by 16. If they don't go on a run soon, it might be all she wrote in this game. But Phoenix down by 16. The ball is theirs. They were giving it to Denver, but they reviewed it, and it is Phoenix's ball. So Cameron Payne, because it went off of Denver, over to Devin Booker. Back to Payne. Maybe Payne can provide a lift for Phoenix. Over in the corner to Okogie. He's off the mark. And Ayton misses the putback dunk. I don't know if there was some contact, but he had a potential putback dunk and could not get it to fall. And then Jokic on the other end. His shot falls. That's a big turnaround there because you could have gotten it potentially down to around 14 points. But now it's back to 18 with that miss from Ayton. And then that score by Jokic. Then Ayton to Payne over to Booker. Booker with a mid-range 2. His shot's off the mark. Nothing's falling for Phoenix. 4:50 to go in the third. Denver back down the 4. Back to Jokic for 2 more. 77-57. 4:40 to go in the third. And now Phoenix is down by 20. Payne to Okogie. And Okogie draws the foul by doing a pump fake. Pretty smart play there. But, man, this is imploded on Phoenix. Denver is now up by 20 points. 77-57. Incredible 4:40 to go in the third quarter. It's gone from a 3-point halftime deficit, 52-49 for Phoenix. They were down by 3. And now Denver scored 25 points in this third quarter to Phoenix's 8. And worse than that, Okogie misses the first free throw. Even worse, it is going all downhill for Phoenix. Denver is on a roll and their crowd's on fire. And you can tell Chris Paul is upset on the sideline. Nothing he can do until he is cleared to return, hopefully for Phoenix in Game 6 to maybe help them out if they don't win this game. Okogie, he does hit the second free throw. So it's 77-58, back below a 20-point deficit. But, man, Denver has been doing a great job in this third quarter. They have been on fire. They have been playing fantastic, passing the ball, and now Jokic is heating up on the offensive end. And when Jokic heats up on the offensive end, he's able to pass to his teammates to Bruce Brown, and Bruce Brown is fouled right there. 4:29 to go in the third quarter. I think they get that foul on Devin Booker. Not much he could do there because he was already beat. So he had to grab to prevent that layup. And Bruce Brown, pretty solid free throw shooter. He can knock him down. His first free throw is pure. A lot easier to hit him when you're winning. And Denver is up 78-58. I mean, when you're winning, it's a lot easier to hit free throws. When you're down, the pressure's on. I mean, if you're way down, you know it's already over. Maybe not. But you're in a pressure situation, it's a lot harder to hit them when you're down. In Denver, they're up big, so maybe their free throws will start falling, and it looks like they are because Bruce Brown, he knocks down both. It's 79-58. It's a 21-point lead for Denver, the largest lead of the game for the Nuggets. 4:20 to go in the third. Does Phoenix have anything left in them? We will see. You've got Payne in the corner to Ross, and Ross does hit a 3. That does cut it to 18. 79-61, 4:10 to go in the third quarter. So that's a big 3 for Phoenix, but that is not going to be enough to help them get back in this game. They're going to need a lot more than just that 3 right there. They're going to need some stops as well and some more buckets. But Bruce Brown determined not to let that happen. Denver back up by 20. 3:50 to go in the third quarter, 81-61, and Bruce Brown, he's got 13 points. He's 3 of 6 from the field. Devin Booker driving, kicks in the corner to Cameron Payne. His shot is in and out, and Jokic, he has the rebound. He passes up the floor to Bruce Brown. The Nuggets are 10 of 13 from the field in this quarter. Phoenix is 5 of 18. The efficiency from Denver is unreal. 10 of 13 from the field. Now over to Bruce Brown driving into the lane, and there is finally a turnover on Denver. They make a mistake. Devin Booker to Payne. To Jock Landale for the dunk. That's great ball movement before Denver could get set on the defensive end. That is a solid play right there. 3:10 to go in the third quarter. Denver's up by 18 over the Phoenix Suns. A blocking foul right there. You had Cameron Payne trying to draw a charge on Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, but he's not going to get it. Not going to get that call. It's a block. Now Jeff Green, Christian Brown are waiting to be inserted into the game. Don't know if they're going to let him into the game yet, but 3:09 to go in the third quarter. Are they already in the bonus? They could be. I think they are. Caldwell-Pope. He's at the line. So that's even worse for Phoenix, the fact they're already in the bonus, and Pope hits the first free throw. 82-63. Now Jeff Green and Christian Brown can come into the game. But, man, Phoenix is running out of time. They're down by 19 points right now. And mathematically, the game isn't over. There's still technically, you could say, enough time for them to come back. But they're going to have to get on it in a hurry because of the fact that they are down by 19 points. Could be 20 after the second free throw. And you only have 15 minutes left in this game. So you're going to have to make up around almost a point a minute to be able to get back in it. Pope, he hits the second. So it is a 20-point game again. 3:05 to go in the third quarter. Can Booker or Kevin Durant get going? You've got the Nuggets with 31 points in the third quarter. Phoenix with 14. That is a big difference. And Booker, he's just off. Can't hit a shot right there. It could be fatigue. And Jokic racking up another rebound. Bruce Brown with the ball. 2:50 to go in the third quarter. Bruce Brown over to Caldwell. Driving into the lane, Caldwell-Pope. He's blocked by Jock Landale. Good defense from Phoenix. Now Kevin Durant down the floor to Ross in the corner. Ross's 3 is good. Big shot for Phoenix, cuts it to 17. 83-66, 2:30 to go in the third quarter. Terrence Ross, he's got 9 points, 3 of 4 from 3. Not too bad right there. And you've got Michael Malone calling a timeout for the Denver Nuggets. Does not like what he's seeing, just wants to make sure Denver keeps the lead. Cannot blame him there. You don't want to give an inch to the Phoenix Suns. He calls a timeout right there. 83-66, 2:26 to go in the third quarter. But Denver, their depth is why they're winning. Because Jokic, he's having a good game. And Jamal Murray, he's had some moments. But it's the other guys like Terrence Ross. I mean, you don't think those 9 points are a big deal, and he's 3 or 4 from 3, but they matter because they add up. And you just don't see a guy for Phoenix like Warren or Payne that has 9, 10 points, and they've hit a couple threes. That's how you win, when you've got depth. And you've got a lot of guys that can score. And I just think that's the biggest key for the Denver Nuggets. I just think they have too much depth. They've got way too much depth for Phoenix, especially when they're at home, because Denver does play better at home. Phoenix, you got to give complete credit to them, 180%, because they played so hard at Phoenix. You had Kevin Durant and Devin Booker going out there and scoring 30 and 40 points, playing at an extremely high level, and that's why. That's why you had Phoenix winning the last 2 games. But it's not looking good for Phoenix in this game because it's at Denver. The crowd is engaged. We only have around 14 minutes and 30 seconds left in this game. Phoenix is down by 17. Again, still enough time. There's plenty of time. But the fact Phoenix is down on this much, and if Denver keeps playing at a high level, it's going to be extremely difficult. But we will definitely see if there's anything left in the tank for Phoenix. They do look gassed for sure. Murray drives in the lane, though, but what a block. Maybe this is the run Phoenix needs. Kevin Durant down the floor. He got tripped up. Looked like he was fouled, but no call. And almost a turnover for Denver. They keep the ball. Kevin Durant looks like he's furious. Like he definitely was fouled there, but didn't call it. And now on the other end, a breakdown on defense because Kevin Durant wasn't back down on the floor. And Christian Braun with the dunk. 85-66. Denver's up by 19, and they're outscoring Phoenix by 16 in this quarter. And this might be enough for Denver at the end of the day if they keep up this level of play. Phoenix is just gone cold. Durant throws the ball up in the air to nobody. Another turnover for Phoenix. Jamal Murray with it now. He almost loses it, but it goes over to Jokic. It just seems like Denver is just not making enough errors. And Phoenix is. And now you got Jokic, 2 pass from Jokic to Jeff Green. Jokic, his passing ability is such a weapon. He is a great facilitator. 25 assists on 30 made field goals for the Denver Nuggets. That is a 75% assist percentage. And now on the other end, Cameron Payne, he does score with a floater. But there's 1:10 to go in the third. And it's 87-68. Phoenix is down by 19 points. And Denver, if they just keep on scoring, they will win this game for sure. Jamal Murray, he's got the ball at the top of the key. And he hasn't even had his biggest game either, which is insane. And he kicks to Jokic. Jokic misses, and Bruce Brown lays it back in. The effort is there from Denver. When they miss, there's somebody there to get the rebound as well to tap it back in. Bruce Brown with 15, another guy that's only averaging 9 points in these playoffs, and he's got 15. Overperforming. And there is a foul on Denver. So there's a foul on Kevin Durant. I think he will be going to the line for 2 free throws. But Bruce Brown with 15, Terrence Ross with 9. Players like that are why Denver is winning right now. And they re-showed the play where Kevin Durant slipped. It looked like Kevin Durant actually just slipped. It don't look like he was fouled at all. It looked like he just slipped on the floor. But Durant, he's got 17 points and 8 rebounds. But he's 7 of 18 from the field and 0 of 3 from 3. The efficiency is not there. And Kevin Durant, his first free throw is good. It's 89-69, but there's only 39 seconds left in the third quarter, and Phoenix is down by 20 points. That is a big deficit all around. I don't know if Phoenix is going to have enough in them in this fourth quarter to be able to come back. There's 4 quarters in every NBA game. There's 2 halves in every game. There's still plenty of time, but Phoenix is running out of time by the minute. They need points in a hurry, and they're just not getting it. Kevin Durant, his second free throw's off, and he's missed some free throws as well. But Jokic, he loses the basketball out of bounds off that missed free throw, so it will be Phoenix basketball. Phoenix catches a break there. They're getting another possession. 14 seconds on the shot clock. And you do have Cameron Payne to inbound with 37 seconds. And there is a foul. So on the inbounds pass, you can't even inbound the ball because there's a foul before you even get the ball in play. Devin Booker fell to the floor. I think they called that foul on Christian Braun. So will we be inbounding the ball again, or is there a Is it going to be on the bonus for the Denver? I think it is. So it looks like Devin Booker might be going to the line. Oh, was there a technical foul? They call a technical foul. I have no idea what's going on right now. There's some scuffling going on. Looks like Jokic might be potentially getting into it with some of the players on the side. I don't know if he got into it with Durant or some of the other players for Phoenix, but there's some scuffling going on. And it looks like you had Devin Booker hit the technical free. It might have been a technical one, but I don't think the free throw counts because of the fact that the scuffle is going on the sideline. So Phoenix just cost themselves that free throw from Booker because he did knock it down. But there's definitely some stuff going on. Both teams are getting into it. I don't know who initiated, whether it was Denver or Phoenix, but when you have a big game like this and Phoenix is down by 20, tempers can flare. But, man, that is not a good look at all. Let's see what happened. I don't know. It kind of looked like you had Phoenix huddling up on the sideline, and it just looks like you had Jokic and Bruce Brown. They kind of were hanging around. Probably shouldn't be over there by the Phoenix huddle. That probably isn't a smart play. I mean, it's their huddle after all. You probably shouldn't be near it. But it is what it is. They're going to get probably a technical, probably on Durant because he pushed Jokic. I don't know if anybody for the Denver Nuggets is going to get a technical, but I mean, this is what happens in NBA playoff games. I mean, it is what it is. And Kevin Durant, he got a technical. It's not surprising because he did push Jokic, but I mean, they were over there by the huddle, which is not smart. You can't be by the huddle. I mean, you have to be able to stay composed. You can't go over there by the opposing team's huddle. I mean, I don't know what they were doing. Maybe they were just walking down the floor. I have no idea, but they were very close to the huddle. And now the referees are still over there looking at the monitor to see if there's anything else. I mean, this is a long and exaggerated official review here. Like I said, this happens a lot in big games like this. I mean, you can't blame the players for getting heated because they want to win, but you got to hold your water. You just cannot do things like that. You can't get into it, especially when you're down. I mean, if Denver's the one initiated, which it definitely looks like it's possible because they were over by the huddle. Why? I mean, you're up 20. I mean, you don't even need to know anything that's going on in the huddle because you're already beating the other team by a lot. And then if you're Phoenix, you're already down big. I mean, you just can't engage. Maybe tell the ref that they don't need to be there. I don't know. Just do it without getting physical. It is what it is. I have no idea, but it's really interesting for sure. It's really slowed down the momentum in this game because this game was moving at a fast pace. But a lot of times, something's going to happen. It's almost like being on a road trip, and then unfortunately, you have some stoppages that slows it down. It's the same thing. You think you're going to be done quicker. This was a fast-moving game like Denver was going to be getting out of here in a hurry over the Phoenix Suns if Denver could just continue to play at a high level. But now, it's slowed down big time. I think they might have called a foul on Bruce Brown as well. I mean, Bruce Brown, that's the thing. He was over there in their huddle. I have no idea what he's doing. I mean, Bruce Brown and Nikola Jokic are over there by the huddle. I have no idea. I don't know if Jokic would have done, but Bruce Brown was right in the huddle. But Devin Booker, he's shooting the technical free throw again. And this time, Booker misses it. Booker misses it this time. He hit the one that didn't count because of the scuffle, but he misses that one. That's insane. And I think the other two technicals offset. So now it will be Phoenix inbounding the ball. So after all of that, there were no points. Insane. Kevin Durant with the ball now, 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Now over to Devin Booker for three. A tough shot, and somehow Devin Booker had a ridiculous three. They're going to need a lot more of that if they're going to come back. That was a big shot by Booker. Hand in his face. He was fading away, and Booker's got 22 points. By far, he's probably having the most efficient game for Phoenix. Kevin Durant's got a lot of points as well, but not very efficient. 15 seconds left in the third quarter. Jamal Murray with Cameron Payne on him. Off a ball screen from Jokic. Murray to Jokic for two, and Jokic with a pretty floater. 91-72. 8 seconds left in the third. Kevin Durant up the floor. 5 seconds left. Kevin Durant, 3 seconds left, 4-2, and Durant knocks down a tough shot. How did he hit that shot? That's incredible, and that will be the end of your third quarter. That was a great shot by Kevin Durant. Incredible. But still, 91-74, though. you just see with Phoenix, they just are getting production from Booker and Durant. Neither are having the type game that they had before in game 3 and 4, but they're still playing solid. But you're down still by 17 into the third quarter. Only 12 minutes left in this game. And all Denver's got to do, you feel like, is just have a solid, mistake-free fourth quarter, hit some big shots, and then they're going to get out of here with a relatively easy win. You don't want to get in any more scuffles, though. You don't want to get into it. Denver, they got lucky that you had Devin Booker missing the technical free throw after he made it, but the one that he made did not count because of the scuffle. He misses the one that actually would have counted, and then technical fouls offset with Kevin Durant and Bruce Brown. But you don't want to get into any trouble if you're Denver. You just got to play the game at a high level. You cannot pick up silly technicals and be able to help Phoenix get back in the game. Now, if you're Phoenix, that's what you want. You want to get to the line, so more technicals would help. Plus, you just feel like Phoenix got away with what worked for them. I mean, I know that when you're down big, you got to be able to hit threes. You got to be able to find a way to get back in the game. But sometimes going to the line is not a bad idea. And Phoenix early in the game, when they were down big in the first quarter, I know it's the first quarter, it's different than now. But still, Phoenix was getting to the line. And with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker's ability to draw fouls and get to the line, they were doing a good job of getting some fouls on Denver, and they were hitting the free throws, and they were able to claw right back into the game. But now they're down by even more, and they're just shooting a bunch of threes. And yes, you just had Kevin Durant and Devin Booker hit big shots back-to-back, but then on the other end, Jokic is hitting big shots. Denver is just matching Phoenix right now. And at times in this game, their energy has been a lot higher. They've had more players going out there scrapping for rebounds. Bruce Brown's had a big game, messed up with the technical, but he has 15 points. Terrence Ross hit some big shots as well. I just think overall, looking at Denver, they've just got enough guys that are hitting enough shots. And that's going to help them finish this game off if they continue that for another quarter, because they just have more depth. And I thought that the fourth quarter was when the depth was going to shine. But it's been the third quarter, because Phoenix just came out of the locker room out of halftime and just completely dropped the ball. I mean, they were down by 3, and then they went down by 21 in a heartbeat. I mean, how do you go from down 3 at the half to down 21? And you've cut it back to 17. But it was a disastrous third quarter for Phoenix. Now, all that will go by the wayside. Phoenix is able to come back. We've seen bigger comebacks than this. It's not impossible if Kevin Durant and Booker can keep hitting some big shots, and maybe they can get some more production out of some of their other players. Maybe all is not lost. Maybe it's not over yet for Phoenix, but they're definitely running out of time. And I would not put a lot of stock into a potential comeback. It's definitely possible, but I would say for sure that looking at the Denver Nuggets, all they got to do is probably put up 25, 30 points in the fourth quarter, just like they did in the second quarter and in the first quarter, and they'll probably be able to win. Because in the third quarter, they put up 39 points. That was a fantastic third quarter. In Phoenix, they only put up 25. It was not a great third quarter for Phoenix. But Michael Malone, 5th playoff appearance with the Denver Nuggets. He's had a good, solid coaching career with Denver. They've got a good team, and they seem to be getting better and better with building a team around Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, and it's paying off big time. Star of the fourth quarter. Star of the quest potentially for Phoenix to make a comeback, or Denver to go up 3-2 in the series and have a great chance to finish off the Suns in this series. Jock Landale with the ball from Cameron Payne, and his hook shot is short. That's a big miss. Jock Landale needed to make that bucket. Now you got Denver on the other end. Jamal Murray driving into the lane. Kicks to Gordon, over to Bruce Brown for 3, and Bruce Brown continues his great game. He's got 18 points, and Denver's back up by 20. 11:20 to go in the fourth. And that is not how you want to start the fourth quarter for Phoenix. A missed shot and then a made shot for Denver. Now Kevin Durant trying to make a move on Jeff Green. His shot's off the mark. Jock Landale's trying to get the ball. Now Bruce Brown, he's got the rebound. Down the floor, all the way to the rim. And Bruce Brown, he is fouled. He cannot get the shot to fall, but he will have free throws. So now you've got Denver going to the line. The thing I think Phoenix needs to do is get to the line, but that's what Denver is doing. And they've hit a lot of their free throws. They've missed a couple more than Phoenix has, but Bruce Brown has, and he's 6 of 6 at the line, and he's having a solid game. A guy that normally doesn't score this much. Only averages around 9 points per game in these playoffs, but he's got 19 points, and he could potentially have 20 if he hits this next free throw. It's 95-74 Denver's up by 21 points yet again after Phoenix had it to 17. Phoenix has really struggled at the beginning of the third and fourth quarter so far, but Bruce Brown, he did miss the second, so it's still 95-74, and he still got 19 points, but he's having a solid game nonetheless. Cameron Payne with the ball, swings over to KD, to Devin Booker. I feel like Phoenix is almost out of time. They need to make a run now. Devin Booker trying to drive on Bruce Brown with a mid-range two. His shot's in and out. A pretty good-looking shot, but Devin Booker could not hit it. Now Denver down the floor. Bruce Brown to Jamal Murray for three. Jamal Murray knocks it down. 98-74. The crowd is engaged. They are on fire and rocking right now in Mile High Arena with the Denver Nuggets. 12 points for Jamal Murray. The fact that he only has 12 points and Denver's up this much shows you how much production they've got from their teammates. Kevin Durant, he does score on the other end to cut the deficit down to 22. But it looks like if Phoenix can't get anything going soon, they might definitely give up. It's not over yet still with the time. Kevin Durant with 22 points, 9 rebounds, but they are down by 22 points, under 10 to go. Murray kicks to Gordon. Gordon shots off the mark. KD with the board. Kevin Durant down the floor. And that's a good pass to Cameron Payne, and Payne lays it in. 98-78, 9:45 to go in the fourth quarter. That was a really good pass by Kevin Durant. Phoenix needs a lot more of that. But the crowd for Denver is on their feet, and they are loud right now, and I don't blame them because their team is playing at a high level. Jamal Murray at the top of the key, being guarded by Ross. Kicks in the corner, Bruce Brown. His shot is off the mark, and Gordon, the ball is off of Denver. So it will be Phoenix basketball. 9:26 to go in the fourth quarter. 20-point game, 98-78. You feel like if you're Denver, all you got to do is just play it at a high level for a few more minutes, and you should be good to go. But still, Phoenix still got their starters, and as long as they're in, there's still a chance. Kevin Durant driving in the lane, and that's a fantastic shot by Kevin Durant. 98-80. How did he get that shot to fall? And it's down to 18. 9:05 to go in the fourth. Jamal Murray bringing the ball up the floor. If you're Denver, probably milk some clock, but still be aggressive. You don't want to get too lukewarm where you're not being aggressive, and then you keep running the clock down, but then you're starting to struggle as well. 8:50 to go. Now you've got Bruce Brown in the lane. He goes up strong and draws a foul. And that's one thing Bruce Brown has done a great job of doing in this game. He's been aggressive getting to the line. He's already shot 8 free throws, and he's 7 of 8 at the line. So Denver's now surpassed Phoenix in free throws made and attempted, and they've also hit and attempted more threes, and that's why Denver's winning for sure. And Bruce Brown, he's finally at 20 points. He knocks down the first free throw. And if he hits another one, it will put Denver at 100 points. 99-80. 8:49 to go in the fourth quarter. And Denver could be up by 20 points with another free throw from Bruce Brown. And he does knock it down. 100-80. 8:49 to go in the fourth. Phoenix inbounds the basketball. You've got Kevin Durant being guarded by Aaron Gordon. All the starters are still in, but a couple more minutes of this, and Phoenix will probably take their starters out if things don't change. KD being guarded by Gordon. Kevin Durant's had a solid game, but not very efficient, and just not enough help from the supporting cast. DeAndre Ayton goes up over Jokic. He misses again. Jokic with the board. 8:20 to go in the fourth. Jokic has had a great game. It's making up for his 53-point performance that went by the wayside, that he's not having to do as much in this game. And Denver is still up by 20. Jamal Murray with only 12 points as well, and they're still winning. Jamal Murray, though, adding to his total. He's up to 14 points, 102-80, 22-point lead, under 8 to go. Ross, he kicks it out to Kevin Durant. 7:50 to go in the fourth quarter. And Kevin Durant just throws it away. Behind the back dribble from Christian Braun, and the big slam dunk. What a play by Christian Braun. 104-80. That was a fantastic behind the back dribble. He stole it, telegraphed that pass by Kevin Durant. Behind the back dribble all the way to the rim, and he slammed it home. That's a fantastic play by the rookie. 104-80. Sergio Mendoza, thanks for being here. Says in a 7-game series, the Suns bench seemed very weak from the very beginning when they traded for KD. 100% agree. That's been the argument that a lot of people have had against the KD trade. The Kevin Durant trade itself was not bad. I don't think getting Kevin Durant was a bad trade idea for Phoenix. It's what they had to give away to get him. And I know when you're getting a star, you got to give away a lot for a team to justify trading that star. I completely get it. But trading Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, it was too much. It's just way too much. And Phoenix's bench it just doesn't have the depth anymore. Landry Shamet, Cameron Payne, who's actually now starting with Chris Paul out. It just, their bench isn't enough. They just don't have enough players that can score at a high level. And to your point, I completely agree. Bruce Brown, 20 points compared to the Suns bench of 18 points. The Denver Nuggets' depth on their bench is showing out. And you look at the Celtics. They have a great bench as well, but they just did not play that great against Philadelphia tonight. So it's interesting. I mean, sometimes your depth doesn't show out, but for Denver tonight, the depth is. They're playing at a high level. But Boston, if they just keep it up in the future, maybe this isn't their year, but they could potentially still be able to do it in the future. But for Denver, they're looking really good right now. We really appreciate you for being here. Sergio said the Suns traded all their wing depth for an aging superstar. I mean, I agree. I mean, if they had been able to find a way to trade less for Kevin Durant or trade other players that would have not been as big of losses, then I think the trade would have been better. But since Phoenix traded away so much to get Kevin Durant, especially Mikal Bridges, that's the toughest loss because Mikal Bridges is a guy that's getting better. I mean, he's going to probably be an all-star in a couple years. He's playing much better. And the fact how durable he is as well. And he's young. I mean, he's young. He's durable. He hasn't missed a game in like 5 years or whatever. I mean, he just plays at a high level. And he was getting better. But to your point, you get Kevin Durant, and he's just older, and I mean, he's not always healthy. It's just, I don't think trading for him was bad. I just think they traded too much for him. Sergio says, in your opinion, is KD still a superstar, or is he on the decline near bottom top 10 player? Well, I mean, that's a good point. I mean, you look at the NBA. I mean, think about how many great players there are. Luka Doncic, Jason Tatum. You also have the three bigs, Joel Embiid, also Giannis Antetokounmpo, Nikola Jokic. I mean, that's 5 guys right there. I mean, then you talk about maybe a Devin Booker. Who knows? I mean, there's just so many great players that play at an extremely high level. Trae Young. Kevin Durant probably is still in the top 10, but there's just so many great players. I mean, it is extremely difficult in this day and age to be a top 10 player. LeBron James still playing at a high level, even though he's older. I mean, Curry. I mean, Stephon Curry. There's just so many players that are fantastic. I would still put Kevin Durant in the top 10, but even if Kevin Durant was the best player in the NBA, I don't know if Phoenix can win a title without depth. That you have to have depth. Even Christian Brown for Denver is doing big things. Phoenix just doesn't have a bench. And with Chris Paul out, it makes it a lot worse. Chris Paul is very important, even though he's older, but he runs the team. And he does provide some scoring. It just feels like Phoenix just doesn't have enough, and it looks like they might fall short here in this game, maybe in the series as well, if they can't find a way to win the next 2 games, if they do fall short tonight. But Booker, he does hit a 3 to help the Suns' cause. It's a 21-point game. It's 104-83, 7:30 to go in the 4. Booker's got 25 points. Not like he's played bad, but him and Durant probably needed 35 and 40 to get this one done. And it's just not looking like it's going to happen. 7:20 to go in the 4. Jokic driving in the lane, kicks to Aaron Gordon for the slam dunk. What a pass from Jokic, and that's where Jokic is the most dangerous on the floor. He's such a threat to pass to his teammates. What a play right there. Jokic with a triple-double, 27 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists. You just can't beat that. And 53 points and lost in the past game, but now, ironically, has way less, but he's getting it done because the teammates are stepping up. Terrence, you look at Ross, you look at Bruce Brown, those guys are getting it done. Jeff Green hasn't even done too much, but still, just Denver overall making shots. Phoenix, though, they score again. They cut it to 21 again, but still, they're just down by way too much and running out of time. I would bet Durant and Booker are going to exit the game in the next minute or 2. Jokic back to Murray, and Murray with the slam dunk. 108-85. What a play by Jamal Murray. Showing those old hops and springs right there. But pre-injury, Murray is coming back. And KD with unluckiness right there. His shot rolled in and out. 6:10 to go in the 4th quarter. Jokic with the basketball, and it's just not looking too good for Phoenix. Down by 23. You do have a turnover for Denver. But Phoenix just probably isn't going to have enough time to make any sort of a comeback. Via Ohio State says, what's up, Only Talk Sports? Thanks for being here, Via Ohio State. Really appreciate you for stopping by tonight. Doing really well. Hope you're doing good as well. But this game was solid in the first half. But, man, Phoenix is completely falling apart. Kevin Durant with the ball, driving in the lane with a mid-range shot, and his shot's in and out. Good look, but could not make the shot go down. Via Ohio State's Nuggets bouncing back big time tonight. Completely agree. And their depth is why, their bench is why they're doing it. Because Jamal Murray's only got 14 points. It's not like he's even having his best game, but their role players are playing at such a high level, and you're just not getting enough production from the Phoenix bench. That's why they're not having a chance to win. And Booker, it's another big three, 108-88. But it's just not going to matter. I mean, Booker could score 15 more points in the next few minutes, but it's just not going to matter. Sergio says, Jokic is an excellent offensive player. I had to witness his rampage in the 2020 bubble playoff. Sally. That's funny for sure. It's always awful when someone that's really good is doing it against your team that you like. But Jokic, he is a great player. A triple-double machine. He's replaced Russell Westbrook as the triple-double machine in the NBA. But Jokic, another pass down low to Bruce Brown. And Bruce Brown continues his fantastic performance. 110-88. 8 for 2, though, on the other end. 4:46 to go in the fourth quarter. And I think we have a timeout on the floor. Unless they're doing some substitution. Like there maybe was going to be a timeout. I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like some players are getting substituted in and out of the game. Maybe starting to bring in some of the guys that don't play as much. Looks like maybe Phoenix could potentially start to know that they're done, but it looks like Booker's still in. I don't know. There was a couple of substitutions like they were being made. But 4:46 to go in the fourth quarter. Finally, Jokic inbounds the ball. Booker's still in. 4:40 to go in the fourth. It's kind of shocking they're still in the game because, I mean, Phoenix, I just don't think there's any shot for them. Only 4 to go, down by 20. Jamal Murray at the top of the key. But what a performance. Kudos to Denver for the bounce-back performance they had. I mean, the fact that it's a bounce-back performance after Jokic at 53 just shows you how well Booker, Ayton, and Durant played in Game 4. It's incredible. But, I mean, all around a team effort by Denver tonight. There was just been a team effort. Murray hasn't even had his best game. Jokic, he just scored again, 112-90. But, I mean, it's been a fantastic team effort by Denver. And these type efforts are how Denver are going to be able to go all the way to the finals, if they do. You're going to have more performances like this where your whole entire team is going out there and playing at a high level. But Kevin Durant, he's fouled on the other end, and he'll have a couple free throws here. But it might all be window dressing at this point. Kevin Durant with 24 points and 11 rebounds. Now, he's had a bad game, 10-24 in the field. He has not hit a three, but still. I mean, Kevin Durant, it's not like he played bad. Neither with Booker as well, but just not a lot of production from the rest of the players. Even Ayton just did not have a big game. With Durant with his shimmy at the line, he knocks down both free throws, back down to a 20-point game, but only 4:18 to go. And if you're Denver, just keep running that clock down. Jock Landale, he's now into the game for the Phoenix Suns. I think they took Booker out. KD's still in, but yeah, it looks like Phoenix might be throwing in the towel, starting to bring in some of their bench players. Torrey Craig is in as well. Bruce Brown, who had a fantastic performance for the Denver Nuggets. He played his role at a high level. He was an elite role player tonight. Bruce Brown was. He did everything you could ask for him and more for Denver, played at a high level, and was a great compliment to Jokic and Jamal Murray and some of their other players. He had a fantastic game. There's 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. There was a foul. 10th career playoff triple-double for Jokic, 29 points, 13 boards, 12 assists, 12 of 20 from the field. That is just fantastic all around. But you still got Jokic and Murray in. But for Phoenix, they've taken all their guys out. But Murray for 3. 115-92. He's starting to pour it on now himself. Hasn't even had his best game, but he's now up to 19 points just like that. Landry Shamet misses a 3. But then Christian Browning loses the ball and gives it back to Phoenix. Got to be able to hold on to the ball there. Landry Shamet, he knocks down that 3. 115-95, 3:31 to go in the fourth quarter, and now there's a timeout on the floor. So they finally call that timeout. But Denver's up by 20 points. This game looks like it's just about wrapped up. Looks like some of the players for Phoenix are going to the bench. And Denver, I mean, this probably could be the game that helps them win the series. It's not over. You never want to say when it's 3-2 that it's done. And Chris Paul might be back. We don't know for sure, but Chris Paul might be back in Game 6, and it will be at Phoenix. So maybe Phoenix can win that game. And then if Phoenix goes out there and plays at an extremely high level in Game 7, maybe they could still beat Denver in the series. But the way that the Denver Nuggets play tonight, it's going to make it very difficult to foresee Phoenix being able to win the series because Denver showed a complete effort tonight. It was a complete effort all the way around from their bench to the starting unit. And I mean, again, Jamal Murray up till this point is not even at his best game by no means. And they're having this great of a performance because they've gotten so much production out of so many players. Phoenix could have won this game. I feel like if Chris Paul was available and you also were getting a lot more production out of DeAndre Ayton, and maybe if you still had a Mikal Bridges or a Cam Johnson on the team, if they didn't have to trade all those guys away to get Kevin Durant. But as is, unfortunately for Phoenix, the only way they can win a game is if you just get incredible performances from Kevin Durant and Devin Booker and then just hope that you get enough out of the rest of the team. But that just did not occur tonight. It just did not occur in any way, shape, or form after the first half. The first half, it wasn't too bad. I mean, you were down by 3. You even led at one point by 1 in the second quarter, but then everything went off the rails, and Denver just started to extend the lead right out of the gate in the second half. Right when the third quarter started, Denver started to put their foot on the gas, and they started to play at an extremely high level, and they absolutely gave Phoenix no chance. They gave Phoenix no chance to win this game in the second half the way that they played. And if Denver has another game like this, of this high caliber, and Phoenix can't get enough production out of their whole entire team, then you will be seeing Denver going to the Western Conference Finals to play either the Lakers or the Warriors. And it's looking like it could be the Lakers. That will be a fantastic series as well. But Denver, if they play like this, they could be in the finals. This could be their year. Who knows? So many great NBA teams. There's been a fantastic NBA playoffs, and I really appreciate all you guys for being along for the ride. It's been a fun 2023 NBA playoffs, and we're nowhere near done yet. So many games left to go in the second round and in the conference finals and then in the finals. I'm looking forward to it for sure, but I really appreciate all you guys for being here. It means a lot for sure. But we've only got 3:31 to go in this fourth quarter. Denver up by 20. Looks like this game's in hand. The Ohio State said, do you think the Celtics will come back from their 3-2 death for the 76ers? Yeah, I mean, it's crazy with Boston because, I mean, you think about it. If James Harden hadn't had a 45 in game 1, Boston wins that game. And then Boston loses by 1 in overtime in game 4. You can make an argument that the Boston Celtics should have been up 4-0, but they're not. They were tied 2-2, and then they just laid an egg tonight. And now they're down 3-2. So, I mean, Boston, I still think they're the better team than Philadelphia, but they could have been up 4-0, but they weren't up 4-0. They lost because Harden at 45. They lost in overtime by 1. That's how it works. You just can't win them all, and you didn't win them all, and you really needed tonight's game. They couldn't get it done. But to your point, Celtics did come back down from 3-2 versus Bucks in round 2 last season. I would say that I would give it around a 35% to 40% chance of them being able to come back, but the 76ers do have the inside track, and if they are able to win the next game, then they'll have it done if they're able to win at home in Philly. It's going to be very interesting. Boston already won at Philly, so we'll have to see. I would give Philly probably a 60-65% chance of getting it done, but Boston could do it. But it's a great question. It's very interesting for sure. But this game, it's looking really good for the Denver Nuggets. Always funny when you have a team up by so much. Phoenix, you're down by 20. You got Jock Landale trying to go up for that little jump hook, and then Denver fouls. I mean, you don't want to give a guy an easy bucket. I totally get that. But you're letting a guy go to the line when you've got the game in hand. It's always insane. But Jock Landale, he misses the first free throw, so it doesn't matter anyway. But Golden State and the Lakers, that's a 3-1 series. The Warriors are in a lot of trouble in that one. Boston is now down 3-2. And Miami's up 3-1 on the Knicks. So insane series. A lot of these series are not going the way people would have thought they would have gone. But maybe in this one it is. Who knows? But Denver up by 19 points. 2:50 to go in the fourth quarter. Complete effort from the Nuggets. Christian Braun over kicking the ball to Brown. Definitely got the deep bench in for the Denver Nuggets and the Phoenix Suns. A lot of the guys that don't get to play that much are in the game. It's always cool to see. Denver scores another 2. They're just pouring it on, up by 21 again. Landry Shamet swings over to Torrey Craig. Torrey Craig with the step back 2, and his shot's good. 117.98. Interesting that Torrey Craig has not been playing as much for Phoenix. He was playing a lot more a few games ago, but his role has been reduced. Wonder if he'll start playing more again anytime soon. 2:10 to go in the fourth. Denver has the ball. Christian Braun, who's had some solid performances for Denver this season, done some nice things. Christian Braun into the lane, and he draws a foul. 2:06 to go in the fourth. And there's still fouls. I mean, the game's in hand. The game's over, and you still got fouls. Always interesting. They're showing Chris Paul, though, in warm-ups earlier today, and he was moving around. You can tell maybe he's still a little bit impaired, but maybe Chris Paul will be back for Game 6. Going to be really interesting for sure. Josh says, bad game for Phoenix. I completely agree with you, Jada. It definitely was not a good game for Phoenix. Christian Braun misses the first free throw. 2:06 to go in the fourth, but yes, not a good game at all for Phoenix. They're showing Chris Paul's injury issues in the playoffs. He's missed a lot of games in the playoffs, just unfortunate. You look at Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, they missed a lot of games as well. Sometimes it's just bad luck, but age could play a role as well. John says, can it out. Jeff, thanks for call. Hope you do some more. For sure, I really appreciate you for being here, and I definitely will try to do some more games. Definitely missed doing some of them. It was just some stuff going on, but I really appreciate you for being here. Glad I was able to do tonight's game. Was not a close game, but still fun nonetheless, and I really appreciate you for stopping by. It means a lot, and I really appreciate it. Thanks for the compliment as well. You're awesome, and I love when you stop by. Thanks for being here. 2:04 to go in the fourth. Christian Braun, he's exiting the game for his service. He's getting a lot of claps on the hands for sure. He played at a high level, but he split the free throw, so it's a 20-point lead for Denver again. Lee in the lane for Phoenix, and he loses the ball out of bounds, and the ball will remain with the Phoenix Suns. 118-98. So you've got a 20-point lead for Denver. It's been complete domination. Denver's just played from wire to wire in the second half at a high level. The first half, it was a close game, even though Denver did come out to a hot start, but Phoenix was able to cut it to 3 at half. They even led by 1 at one point, but then Denver just blew it open and led from wire to wire in the second half. They played at an extremely high level. Landry Shamet to Jock Landale. Over to Lee. Lee trying to make a move. 1:40 to go over to Wainwright at the top of the key. He cannot make the shot. And now you've got Phoenix with the ball again. They keep getting offensive rebounds, but they cannot score. Now you've got Landry Shamet with the ball. He's driving in, and he lays it in off the glass. 118-100. 1:20 to go in the fourth quarter. So only around 80 seconds left in the game. Few more shots probably for both teams. Denver swinging the ball around, taking a mid-range jumper, and it's off the mark. Landry Shamet, he has the rebound right there. 1:05 to go in the fourth. Jock Landale for 2. 118-102, 16-point game. 1 to go in the fourth, and Denver's just going to dribble this thing out. I'm sure probably take a shot toward the end of the shot clock and get out of it. Denver with a relatively easy win off their home floor. And Phoenix will be going back home to their own floor in disappointment, being down 3-2 in the series. A really tough loss and game overall for Phoenix. And Denver, they made their home crowd fans really happy. A big win. Phoenix misses a 3 on the other end. 34 seconds left. Denver drives into the lane, and I think Denver might have stepped out. So it will be Phoenix basketball again. Again, always nice to see some of the guys that don't get to play a lot get some run. Very talented players in their own right. Just so many great players in the NBA. It is so difficult to have them all out there because there's just so many fantastic players. I mean, there's so many guys in Europe and other countries playing basketball that are great players. They don't get to play because of the fact that there's just so many great players and they have to go to other countries to play. It's crazy for sure. But the home team has won every game in this series, and they're dribbling it out. 118-102. That is the end of the fourth quarter. That is the end of the game. and the Phoenix Suns, they lose, and they're down 3-2 to the Denver Nuggets. And it's going to be very interesting to see as we move forward. Can the Denver Nuggets finish off Phoenix at Phoenix? Or will you potentially see Phoenix Suns with Chris Paul maybe back? Will he be back in Game 6, be able to lead Phoenix to victory, and then potentially you have Phoenix have a shot in Game 7? We'll have to see. But some great NBA action tonight. The Philadelphia 76ers upset Boston at Boston. Incredible performance there. Boston really struggled on their own floor. Probably their worst performance in these playoffs. But Philly took advantage. They're up 3-2. Good games by Embiid and Maxey. Crazy there. We'll have to see what happens there. But you got Phoenix losing to the Denver Nuggets, 118-102. Both these series are now 3-2. Should be a lot of fun to see what the Game 6 and potential Game 7s we might get in both these series. But I really appreciate all you guys for being here tonight. Like the stream down below. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Share the stream out on social media. But more importantly, I appreciate you guys for being here. You guys make this worth doing. I really appreciate it so much. And I definitely will try to be back soon for some more NBA live streams in the future. Definitely have a lot of fun doing them. You guys make it worth it for sure. But what performances tonight from the Philadelphia 76ers, but what a win for the Denver Nuggets. Should be a lot of fun to see what continues to happen in these NBA playoffs. They've been great NBA playoffs so far. But thanks for being here, everybody. I really appreciate it. What a win for Denver. They won 118-102 over Phoenix. They lead 3-2 in the series. What a performance from Jokic, Murray, and also Bruce Brown. And it wasn't enough for Booker and Durant, but a great performance from Denver. They won. They're up 3-2 in the series. But I really appreciate you guys for being here.